from my experience personally, I would go to a friend and tell them about a lot of the hardships I'm having in life. And I'd be like, I don't know if you can, if you can handle this right now. I'm so sorry if I'm like emotionally dumping stuff on you, And I'll have friends that are like, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. A lot of them do mean that. A lot of them are like, no, this is nothing. I'm not you. Like, there's some people who aren't as empathetic as me. And it's a double-edged sword. I'm like, I love that I have empathy and I can kind of just like try to get that feeling of another person's feelings. Obviously, you can never feel the way someone else feels. That's what I want as a superpower, if I got a superpower. I'd love to be able to fully feel what someone else is feeling emotionally. Because I think I could help so many people at that point.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast with your host, Nefertiti. It's good to see you for another episode. This is episode 36 of the Sweet Talking Podcast. So I'm very excited about this one. I mean, I'm excited about all of my guests, but this one I think will be pretty special for I think many of you. But before we get started with tonight's episode, I do want to quickly say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in to these episodes, everyone who's been supporting the podcast up until this point. I really do appreciate you very much. We've gotten up to, this is episode 36. I never thought we'd get past 10, to be honest with you, but here we are. And I hope there will be many more to come. So I'm always grateful to everyone who's been willing to join me for these. And I appreciate all the support, and whether you've commented or you've liked or you've just watched and shared it perhaps with people that you know. Whatever the case may be, thank you so much for your support of the Sweet Talking Podcast. It really does mean a lot to me. I also want to give special thanks to my patrons. Thank you all so much. I really am encouraged by all of your support. It really does mean a lot to me, and I hope that thanks comes through. So again, thank you all so much, my patrons. If you're interested in becoming a patron and learning more about what that entails, of course, you can always check me out at patreon.com/Nefertiti with one I. So if that's interesting to you, please go ahead and check that out. But in the meantime, we'll get to all that stuff later on, self-promotion, all that stuff at the end of the podcast. But for now, guys, let's go ahead and get into the podcast. So tonight, I am joined by none other than the femboy catboy himself, SillyWilley. It's good to have you on the podcast.
Happy to be here. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm very excited to get to know you. You and I have we've talked a couple of times in passing. Not IRL situations, but in VR chat situations rather. We've talked a little bit in passing. We've exchanged a couple of DMs here and there too. So
Yeah, and since social passing. Yeah, exactly.
right. Because we go to parties, we fraternize. We do the things and stuff because we kind of as content creators and just as people who really appreciate what VR chat has to offer. We've circulated in the same circles, but it's really interesting how just little by little you and I have kind of come to know each other because actually you knew me before I knew about you, it seems.
Yeah, I was watching some of your stuff back when you were interviewing Blackjack's. I think the first time you interviewed him, so that would have been, I don't know how long ago, but yeah, a while ago. So
yeah,
it's
December.
Cool that I thought to myself one day, I was just like, well, December was the second time, I think. I thought you interviewed him once before, but maybe I was...
No.
A different stream.
Nope, I've only interviewed him once. I haven't interviewed anyone twice as of yet. So
interesting.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, just a long time. I was going through all my VR chat streamers on Twitch and seeing what all the creativity was about and seeing what everyone was doing. And then you came across with your podcast and your interview series, and I was like, oh, "This is so cool!"
I'm glad that you found it interesting.
Someday, maybe I'll be on that. That'd be really cool if I can get to that level. Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, I wouldn't say that you have to be at a certain level to be on the podcast because I've interviewed a number of people, non-streamers even. So people who are just kind of a part of the community, who are a part of various circles. So the level doesn't matter, but what matters is just I felt there was a conversation that could be had between you and I.
Yeah.
So that's really the kind of the major thing. Like if there's a spark, a possibility of a conversation, that's kind of like, how I kind of pick people out and kind of I want to have them on for a conversation to kind of talk to them and get to know them more. So yeah, but yeah, basically like the first time I met you was during your birthday party last year. Because I kind of like,
oh yeah, in November.
yeah, like I like generally kind of heard about you, but like I didn't know who you were. Like I actually ended up at that party not knowing what the party was. I actually didn't know what the hell was even going on. And then they're like, oh, it's Silly's birthday, and I'm like, oh, like who's that? So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because it was way bigger. It was a rager, and I was like, what is happening right now? There
were a lot
80
of people
here. And like it made me realize how many connections that I'd created in VR chat over the past like year, maybe 2 years or so. And it's just amazing how you can, I don't know, help bring that many people together, and then their friends come together, and then that's what I love about VR chat. All the communities that just kind of intermerge and can get tangled up in each other.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have been able to even like be there at the party had it not been open to like everyone, or like to like I guess friends plus, I suppose. I think that's what it was. But yeah, I wouldn't have even wound up there had that not been the case, 'cause I didn't know who you were at that point. So but yeah, I got a chance to meet you. We chit chatted. You said that you knew me. I'm just like, oh, cool. That's awesome. So that was kind of the start of everything. We've just kind of like gradually like made our connections with each other like little by little. Again, like I said earlier, in passing, and now we're here. So that's pretty awesome.
And now we're here having like a full-on chat, and like I have so much that I love talking about, because I'm just yap.
No worries. It's totally alright. It's totally right. I'm going to appreciate the yapping. Trust me. But yeah, but so we can kind of like kick things off in the right fashion. How about we start off like with very, very basic stuff, like very basic questions. So how about?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Hell yeah. So how about you let the viewers know who is SillyWilley? Let's just kind of start there. Like, let people know who you are. What do you do? What are you into? What makes you who you are?
Yeah. I am just a person that wants to spread a lot of like joy and happiness, and the internet allows me to do that. And I've been trying to be a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer for many years. And it's always been some project in the background. It's always been little things, learning video editing. I was a cinematographer for a while. I was an IRL streamer before I was in VR chat.
Oh.
And that was like 4 years ago. And I even started with a couple of friends. We started a interview series in our city for a bunch of local bands and stuff. And I set up full studio, full like background, giant green screen, lights, cameras, and we would play games with local artists and bands, and we like play Call of Duty with them, and then like do interviews during that. And it was a lot of work, and it didn't go very far because it was extremely heavy on the budget, and yeah, very hard to do for Twitch stream without any like money. But it was a passion, and I was like, I want to do this more, so I just kept doing it on my own.
Okay, so more so about you though, like about you personally. You, not about streaming, not about content creation. Like, who are you?
I am a complicated soul on this planet.
If we've lived, aren't we all? Yeah.
Right, yeah, just being chosen apparently to make it into living, like, that's wild to think about. And I don't know, I'm a really deep thinker. I love very openly, and I'm a caring, kind of like fun, I don't know, very emotional femboy. That's why I'm feminine for sure. Is I don't take out my masculine traits as much as I take out my feminine traits and embrace them fully. And I find it hard to talk about myself, apparently. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I never wanted to be in the spotlight but yet I wanted to make people happy and like entertain. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. Like, I think I like a lot of people. Like, I try to kind of gauge people and their ability to like have a conversation, hold a conversation for extended periods of time. And I know for some people it is pretty hard for them to talk about themselves. It's hard for them to kind of go into detail about like what makes them who they are. Like who are they? Like what have they done? What have they accomplished? Why are they you know here doing the things that they're doing? And what makes them special, like unique?
I have so many perspectives of who I am, because I live my life, and I have lived what feels like multiple lives already, with how many emotional roller coasters and how many life events have happened, you know. And that's what's so overwhelming. I think when I think of that question, I'm just like, who I am. It's like, whoa, I'm so much. I'm like, I've been through super episodes of where I wasn't silly at all, and I was just like bleh, and those were really rough times. And then also just like I was hyper all the time and free, and like ADHD was through the roof because I was undiagnosed. Now I didn't know who was in control. Felt like something else was just guiding me, and I was just like, yeah, let's go, let's just go with it. Okay,
well. Okay, so those are like, we can go like in a lot of different directions with what you just said.
We can, yeah.
So how about we'll keep it. We'll still keep it pretty light. How about you just tell us about like, where did your name come from? SillyWilley.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It started off as Combat Willie, which is my airsoft name from when I would go into the field. That was my like combat name. And I was like, Combat Willie, I'm a Rocket League streamer, but I want to stream other games, and I don't really stream like first-person shooters. This doesn't make sense, and it doesn't fit my personality. I'm not very combatant. I'm not very aggressive. And I think it was me and Maichu. Maichu's one of my oldest friends in VR, and oldest streamer friends too, and we were thinking of names and everything. And I was just spitting off names, and I did SillyWilley, right? But I spelled silly with an EY, and I was like, this looks weird and I can't get it right. And it took like months to finally settle on just SillyWilley and just accept it and be like, this is me. This is good. This is like a happy like representation of who I am, because I am a very joyful person. And it fit. And I felt right. Like the identity was there. So I just embraced it. And then I made this logo. This is the old logo. This is the first, because I wanted to do graphic design, and I'd never done anything like that before in my life. And I just opened up Adobe Illustrator and was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then went to YouTube, and then I made a logo somehow. And it was silly with a little heart around it, because just wanted to spread love and happiness. And that was, yeah, like the development of that name, the embodiment of it.
Gotcha. So I guess like for someone who's been so very very soft and loving and like very in touch with their feminine side, I'm very curious how you ended up in like the Combat Willie area anyway, because I'm sure you were much aware of like who you were at that point in time. So I guess how were you even able to lean into being Combat Willie even for the period of time that you were that?
I was being an aggressive male outwardly to show what I thought the world wanted to see. I wasn't living for me, right? I was living for what I thought the stereotype needed to be of who I was. And Combat Willie also is a good name for me in memory, because it was something that I shared with a lot of friends, with IRL friends. But yeah, it didn't fully fit. The femininity and everything has always been there, yes. But it was definitely put down a lot by just different parts of life, of the society that we live in, unfortunately. Of course. That for that time, yeah, it definitely was just like, no, you need to be a masculine man. And a lot of people that I dated too were like, you know, because I'm pan, so I dated girls first. And they were like, you need to be a masculine man and protect me. And I was like, bitch, please. I don't fight. I'm like, hey, we should be quiet. We should like duck around the corner. We should like leave. Let's get out of here safely. I'm not gonna go up to someone and be like brawl with them. Mm-hmm. And that's just my personality. And the femininity came a lot in like 2021 because of VR chat, because of the openness of being able to express yourself any way you want in any avatar that you want. And the not much judgment when you find the right people, because a lot of the right people were already here.
Right. Yeah, there's like, this is something I talk to my guests about a lot. Like, the idea of, like, you know, you get into an avatar and, like, you get to be essentially whoever you want to be and kind of embody that. Like, I've talked about this extensively on my own streams about, like, VR chat being essentially a second life in which you are able to essentially be taken at face value for whatever personality you portray, whatever version of yourself you want to put out there for people. They're going to believe you wholeheartedly that is who you are, because they have no other frame of reference. It's like another opportunity to not really to, like, some people don't need to reinvent themselves per se, but it allows people to find exactly like who they are. VR chat has allowed people to answer the question, who am I, in a lot of ways. So I think that's really kind of the beauty of it, and it's really interesting that like you were inclined to force yourself to be a version of who you thought that you needed to be, and then you came across VR chat, and that kind of changed everything for you. So I guess perhaps that is the reason why you don't really know. I mean, when I asked you, like, who are you? Like, you're an amalgamation of different experiences. I mean, aren't we all? That is who we are. That's what it kind of boils down to. We are the product of our experiences, you know? So yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So basically, SillyWilley came from you realizing who, like, the version of yourself that you were authentically aiming to be. The society be damned in that way.
Yeah, like openly, to express myself openly and freely. Yeah, like that was the nicest part about it. It's really cool because VR chat's like a safe place to come to and be in your own robe, and if someone pisses you off, you can just mute them and walk away, or you can talk it out with some of them. But a lot of homophobes come to me in public worlds, and like I make them question whether or not they were gay or not by the end of the conversation. Yeah, even if they were trolling me, and it's because that you can do that. It's fun. You can have good conversations. I love it being a social game. And that's why it's like not really a game. It's just like this cool social mix of an internet community that you can physically look around and walk in if you have a VR helmet.
Yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
Like
I'm back to that thing you were saying.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Back to the thing that you were saying earlier about, like me and who I am. I think it's because I'm also in that transition period still. It's only been like 2 years out of my entire life that I'm finally, wearing feminine clothing around my house, around my roommates, and then being accepting of it completely. And like, just realizing that people don't really care that much.
No, they don't.
The people that do care,
they don't.
It's just like, yeah, they're the assholes. You don't need to be with them.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about them. And that choice to live more freely is still new. Yeah, it's still fresh. But I'm enjoying it a lot.
Okay, well, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about kind of what got you there. What was it? Was it distinctly VR chat that got you to I guess embrace the femboy aspect of yourself, or was it some other things that occurred IRL that kind of brought you to this point?
There's definitely some spicy things that happened IRL.
Hey, we can talk about them.
It's like experiences. Yeah. Just like being with another guy and it feeling really natural and really right. The same natural feeling as I got when being with a girl. which blew my mind, because I was like, this whole time I thought, for some reason my brain was like, well, I know I'm not gay because I know that I'm also attracted to women.
Right.
But I also know that there's some really cute guys that I've been attracted to, and we're talking my whole life, right? It's not like a switch that turns, like you were saying. It actually is something that we're usually either like born with, or it's very early life, like development. And I remember having a crush in 2nd grade on a guy who now I know it was a crush, right?
Right.
Back then, I just really wanted to be his friend, really bad, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I got jealous when other people were like, he's my friend, and I was like, no, he's not. I'm sitting at the lunch table with him. He's my friend. And then neither of us were friends with him anymore because we scared him away.
Damn, man. Well, yeah. So okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so basically there are just like your own life experiences kind of led you towards understanding that, like, so yeah, you're pansexual at this point in your life. So your attractiveness, actually, I'll let you define. Like, I know my definition of it. How do you define being pansexual?
I knew it wasn't bisexual, and it was more pansexual because I didn't care about the gender of the person. Whatever they identified with, it didn't matter. I was attracted to them for who they are. I think some people say there's another word for it too, and I just don't remember all their vocabulary. It might be demisexual. I'm not sure.
Demisexual. Yeah, demisexual is someone who needs they need to have a romantic attraction to the person before they can, like, want to engage in sexual relations. You know, that's what demisexual means. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't.
That was pretty fitting into it too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's another terminology for it beyond, being pansexual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there might be another. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's another, but
There's
I can't
so many
remember.
now.
Yeah,
There's
there's
so
so
many,
many,
so
and
it's
like, yeah, like, but like, we shouldn't limit ourselves to, like, various, titles. Like, we come up with titles in the interest of, like, having ourselves have some frame of reference, so when people ask us what we're into, we can tell them it's this thing. But at the end of the day, like, labels don't mean shit. We're just trying to live our lives and love who we want and experience whoever we wish. Like, labels are just a means to communicate. They're just a vehicle of communication for people who are otherwise more or less closed-minded in most cases. So yeah. So being pansexual for you is just being with whomever that you're attracted to. There's no boundary on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I would describe it personally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was something. When did you realize you're a pansexual?
That was later on, and yeah, that was probably in VR chat. I dated my first guy ever in VR chat. And then actually met people at TwitchCon, and then did stuff at TwitchCon, and was like, "This is okay."
Yeah.
That was when it was confirmed.
Right.
And then, like, the other time, it really was like I met a lot of really open people in VR chat. I guess that was more of my introduction to a full introduction to, like, the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
Probably would have been through VR chat. But my brother is gay too, so I met a lot of his gay friends, and I didn't get it at that point. Because him and I are about, like, 4 years apart. So I was seeing him going through it. And I was just like, that's interesting, that's neat. And he had, like, it's funny because he had, like, fishnets on. He was in full, like, rave gear, going to shows. He was all colorful and bright. And I was like, I really like that. And I started wearing a bunch of bracelets, like, like the Live Strong band and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Of course, yeah.
The little yellow bands. So that started it all. And then my arms were covered in colorful bracelets in grade school, and I was like, I love the way this looks, I love the way this feels, oh my gosh. And then someone made a fucking comment.
Of course, it's always that one person who has to say something and basically makes you question everything that you enjoyed.
judgy,
Yeah.
judgy.
Yeah.
And then that actually, and it's crazy that I remember that moment very well, because I realized that was an identifier, and that was like a factor in my life when they affected my choices. I stopped wearing the bands. I started looking more normal and plain. I didn't want to stand out anymore because I didn't want to gain the attraction of unwanted attention. But then I still wanted attention, and I didn't understand why I wasn't getting it anymore. And it's because like one year I just told my dad and my mom, I was like, I want plain clothes, no graphics on them, and just blue jeans and shoes. That's it.
Just look like everyone else. Cookie cutter. Don't just blend in. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, but you know, like it's hard being a kid. Like let's not even downplay that. It's really hard being a kid because like you not only is there like the sense of FOMO, but you desperately want to fit in. Because we haven't, like when we're children, we don't quite develop the sense of wanting to be a unique version of ourselves, because like we see what everyone else is doing around us, and we see how other people are responding to how those people are looking and presenting themselves. So we want to be like them so that we can actually have friends. So we sacrifice who we are as kids, usually unconsciously, because all we care about in that moment is like, I just want to have a friend and not be the weird guy or the weird person in the situation.
Yeah, you don't want to be left out of childhood.
Right. So but we haven't developed that thick enough skin because we're kids. All we know is like what everyone else knows, you know. We don't know who we are yet, and so like I definitely get like it sucks to like have to like sacrifice that and go through that, but like keep going. Continue what you're saying.
You have to have personal growth.
Yeah.
You have to have personal growth. I think that is part of my entire life. Is in high school I dedicated my life to like just learning to love, learning in the process of gaining new things in life and new experiences and new knowledge, and understanding that is continual for life. And when I looked at it that way in the world, it made me a lot more okay with myself and a lot less judgmental of myself and of others. Made me a lot more open. And I'm just really happy that I didn't stick with that version of myself that had, you know, wanted to blend in and be in the background. And I was like, no, I'm loud. I am energetic. I am silly. I am me.
Yes.
You know, and I ended up being like, okay, I want to be social. I don't want to be, you know, I was really like a hermit, and I was just like sitting playing Yu-Gi-Oh with my best friends at their house on weekends. And I was like, but I want more friends. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I want to make more friends. I want to meet so many people. I just became interested in humans. I just like started distancing myself as a human, which was kind of weird. That was an interesting moment, because I was like, I got really into sociology and psychology, and just super studying people. And I love that stuff. I listen to so much Alan Watts, just podcasts and stuff, if you know who he is.
I haven't heard of him. I feel like his name sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I may have heard the name, but like I don't know anything about his content. So
he is an old professor that studied like the Buddhist writings and texts, and he studied a lot of religious texts from Asia, right? And his goal was to study them, and then instead of being a grand yogi master, you know, he was like, I'm going to teach this in a way that isn't forcing the religion on anyone. I'm just going to teach it in the teachings of what it is, the moral studies of what it is. And you actually hear a lot of his lines in like music. A lot of people sample his lectures. So
that guy. Oh yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. I actually think I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
You probably do.
Yeah, I know, like, cause I listen to that kind of stuff. You know, like just really like deep, like philosophical stuff. Like, and like there's this guy speaking very kind of like lofty, and like is kind of like is the way he's speaking seems very roundabout, but it always kind of comes around back to like an initial like point of like you get the point like once he kind of makes it back around. Like yeah. Alan Watts, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Very much a philosopher, yeah.
Yes.
He's up there with philosophy, I think. Even though he was just a professor of like religious studies. I think that's what's interesting. He just studied how people treated each other in very, very ancient ways. But like I really latched onto that, and I tend to learn from what I put on a pedestal, and then realize I don't need to put them on a pedestal. They're just people too. But I was like, I'm inspired by that, so I'm still very respectful of what they did and all the hard work that people put in like that. Because someone who is kind of like loud and outspoken, but is being kind of like good about it and nice about it and not affecting everything negatively. That was someone that I'm drawn to, and I want to learn from them and kind of just learn from people who know a lot of knowledge and like be the student-master relationship. I really enjoy doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that in a lot of ways. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about like what I've gone to, who I admire, and like my role models and things like that. But I think it's very good to have. It's good to have role models that ultimately kind of guide us on the path to self-actualization, the things that kind of bring us to a point where we can truly understand the people, the person that we are meant to be, the things that we're meant to understand about ourselves, and it brings us a better sense of like oneness within ourselves. We know exactly. We may still have things we need to learn about ourselves, but we have a better sense of like this is who we should be. This is where we should be aiming towards. This is what we should be aspiring towards. You know, those sorts of things. And like that's one of the reasons why I knew I'd want to talk to you, because I had a very good feeling through our conversations, mainly the one that we had over DMs. That like there was definitely kind of a mutual kind of philosophical bent. And the way that we kind of perceive the world and perceive people, like really care about people. So I thought that would be really, really interesting, kind of like see how far we could go in a conversation like on the podcast. So
yeah, I remember the moment that I had with you. I was super drunk and I was passing out in VR chat, and I think you had passed by, and then you came up to me and I was laying down, and then we just like had a good conversation. Kind of like you said, something that fit with that. But at that moment, I like vibed with you, and I knew I was just like, that's something that it's like this person I can talk with. And yeah, that was that moment for me when I was just like passed out on the ground, looking up. And there was just a group of people like talking around everyone, and I was just sitting in the middle of it.
And like, you know, that's kind of what it's like in VR chat a lot of times. Like we're kind of like sometimes it can feel like we're in this singular place where like we're surrounded by people, but in that moment we're just kind of there. In that moment, the people are there, but they're also not there. And all it takes is really kind of someone to kind of see us in that moment and be willing to kind of talk to us and like, you know, meet us where we're at in the moment. Because again, like there's a lot that VR chat offers, and I feel like we can definitely get into that as well. But I do feel like just the whole social aspect of VR chat kind of it blinds people to the value of being able to just have meaningful conversations with people, because like you're either like a mirror dweller, or you're a raver, or you're going to you're just jumping from party to party to party, and like I think a lot in that kind of culture, things are missed. Opportunities to really connect with people are missed in the interest of just kind of fulfilling our most, you know, banal our most banal desires in those periods of time. And I think it's a missed opportunity. But I think that's the culture that VR chat offers to us. And I do buckle against that. I try to go against that a lot of times, but you know, that also makes me seem, I think, pretty intimidating to some people. I think that desire to want to be.
I think that's why I like still go to Publix, because it's fun. I still go and communicate with the people that others are like, I don't want to go into that situation. And I was like, the new users, the blue user, right?
Yeah.
The people who are new to VR chat, they're not kind of like conditioned, because I would say that there's some part of VR chat where we are conditioned after playing it after being in like you said, those social situations of where you don't have to socialize. You could be dancing with friends in the same space, or drinking, or watching movies, and those are all great and those are all fun. But I do enjoy the reason why I got into VR chat to begin with, which was jumping on. One day I saw a free game on Steam and was like, what is VR chat? It's been literally installed on my PC for 6 months. I'm gonna finally open it. and then I took pictures of that moment. Like I took screenshots, and I still have the old world from like 2019 that I spawned into. And then the 4 random people. I still have the first 2 people I ever met in VR chat. Like,
Same, I do
in a
too.
special group. Yeah. I always look back at that because it's kind of like a reminder. It's like I wanted to play this game just to socialize. That was it. I needed social, and then 2020 happened and COVID.
Yeah.
So it really was like, oh, okay, I need social. And VR chat is totally cool for that. And I've had so many amazing conversations in this game. I've had so many amazing connections with people, and sometimes they're just one-offs. I will have a conversation with that person. We don't even add each other as friends or anything, but we both got this emotional like rush of endorphins that felt good. And maybe we got some stuff off our chest. Maybe we talked about some deeper issues that you can talk with a stranger online, because they don't know who you are IRL, and you can kind of use that anonymity.
Anonymity.
Anonymity. Yeah.
Yes, it's a hard word to say. Yeah.
I'm just trying to sound smart. Big words, you know.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Like basically,
there's conversations here.
Yeah, there's no expectations. There's no expectations that are put upon you to act a certain way, to conduct yourself in a certain way. You can just you can be whoever you are in that moment with that stranger, and just be able to connect with them. If you do, maybe you don't. But that really is, I think once you've kind of been in VR chat for a significant amount of time, like you and I have, I think it's oftentimes forgotten. I think people forget what it means to just kind of not have to be on all the time, especially if you're a streamer or content creator, to just not be on and just kind of be present. Not saying that if you go to party, you aren't present. Not saying that that's not the case, but I'm saying that just kind of being able to interact with a person that you don't know at all, and just being able to kind of like interact with them with no expectations is pretty freeing. And I think it's a huge reminder of like what it means to like, be in VR chat. I think a lot of people, again, once you've been here for like a year or so, and you've been pretty significantly in, like once you've like amassed, let's say 500 hours in this game, at that point you've kind of established your friend groups. You understand like what are the hot, at least one hot spot at that point. Or at the very least you have a very strong friend group at that point, and you just kind of stay in that circle. And a lot of people just kind of find the people who they find, and they just stay there for however long. And they forget what brought them there in the first place. They forget what made VR chat interesting in the first place. So, like, I think it's really great that you still do that, going to Publix and shit.
Yeah, I have seen groups that I've been in, born, die, sometimes born again, multiple times. And it's interesting. I always go back to those people. I have my people that I met a long time ago, and they were just a drinking crew of people, right? And they were one of my first groups that I got into that was like a big group of people, and they would just have fun. And like, I was kind of the figure there that was like, hey, you guys should drink less, which isn't the popular choice.
Yeah.
But they were going bad. I was like, dude, let's have a deep conversation. That's what's nice. Drunk people can have amazingly deep conversations because they are emotionally
vulnerable,
available.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was able to help a lot of people that way. Because that's what I like to do too. I would stick my nose in other people's business because that's just me. And I don't do it as much anymore because I realized like it was very emotionally draining for me to do that with too many people, and I would literally just emotionally cap myself.
Yep. I know that so well.
Yeah, and that hit a point in my life. But there was one point in my life later on. That's the deeper part, where I could no longer do that because I wasn't emotionally allowed to help other people, and it wasn't my choice because I was going through intense grieving. And that was 2 years ago. So talking about this now just like triggered that because I haven't had that in a long time. I haven't taken care of other people because I've been so focused on taking care of myself.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And
might I add.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's completely normal, completely fine. And I had to come to terms with that too because I was literally having to tell people like, hey, I can't, be that shoulder to cry on right now. I used to always be that person that's just like, yes, come to me with your stuff, please. I would love to just listen to you. And having to turn people down and say, I can't help you with this. Like or saying I can listen to you for so long. But I'm not a that was the go-to phrase. Oh, but I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist,
Yeah.
If they hit something deep that was troubling, I would tell them to go get some sort of professional help like that. And then I would help them with the process on how to get it. Because that was the only way. It was for me to be like, okay, you're here, and I think that you could be up here, with enough personal awareness and emotional intelligence and trainings and stuff, and basically self-work, which is very hard to do and it takes motivating only yourself to do it. But the grief was all around mortality and my experiences learning that we all die, right? And I was coming to some hardcore terms with that because life decided to throw it all at me in 2 years. It decided to hit me really fucking hard with the fact that family members don't live forever. And some people don't want to live forever. That was hard. And it's we could get into the deeper side of that stuff.
I don't mind. If you're comfortable with that, that's totally fine with me. At the end of the day, we're learning about you. I'm learning about you. So a lot of what you're saying really does resonate. The importance of taking care of yourself and not being able to always be the one that's giving. I very much am very similar in that regard. I'm generally I've always been for the longest time, even as far back as high school, even further back than that. I've always been the level-headed one who's been able to help people through their issues because I'm naturally good at connecting the dots. I'm naturally good at finding solutions. But there are just some people who don't want to find solutions, and then they talk and talk and talk, and at that point it's you need to go talk to a professional at that point. 'Cause if you it's like you said, it's very hard, it's very difficult for most people. I would say the majority of people struggle to do the self-work necessary to diagnose to whatever degree that they can what they're dealing with, and let alone to find a path forward from what they're dealing with. That's not something that the majority of people can do.
Our brains are so developed to be able to not or to be able to ignore any signs of a problem.
Or ignore or escape from, because that's how we survive.
Yeah, escape, exactly.
Yeah,
no, and that's weird. That's our human trait. It's in our DNA for a reason. It keeps us going.
It keeps us alive.
Yeah, and back in the day, it was you lived till maybe you got lucky to make it to 20 years old, right? You didn't need to worry about you don't have the time to worry about emotions. You experienced them, you developed however the hell you developed because you just had to survive and get enough water and food for the day to scavenge and live. We've come so far, we live so long now. That's why we can broaden, I think, all of our emotional horizons and everything, because we have the time to sit and be okay, I've eaten, I've taken care of my necessities, right? Drink water, I've eaten food, I've slept. Okay, let's just sit with ourselves. And it's really scary to do, to have that self-talk, or maybe you can't talk to yourself. You have to write it down. You have to, like what I do, I speak into my phone and I record it. That way I feel like I am talking to someone else. Because if I am saying something and I believe that maybe someday it'll reach someone else's ears and that maybe they can get something out of it and they can relate from it, I'm more willing to share it. Which is ironic because a lot of those like recordings no one's ever heard and might not ever hear, but it works. It tricks my brain into thinking we're doing something though, and that is something that I think people can try to do if they don't understand. You know, they're like, I'm too afraid to sit with myself. Myself is scary. It's like, well, you can pretend you're writing to yourself. You can pretend you're talking to a different person. You can trick your brain in a lot of ways that are completely beneficial, because at some point you won't be tricking your brain because you know you're doing it, right? You know you're doing it.
Of course.
But then you get to a point where you're comfy. You're comfortable with it. You hit a point where you're like, I am fine. Okay, I'm gonna sit on my bed. I'm not gonna listen to music. I'm not gonna turn like my computer on. I'm just gonna be here, and we're gonna be like, okay, why are we feeling so angry today, or like, why are we feeling so sad? What the fuck is going on? Like, that's what I do to myself.
Ask yourself the hard question. I do that too. Ask yourself the fucking hard questions. Like that's like, and like you. I love the points that you're making because I hear this all the time. Like I hear like people. I talk to people, and they're like it's normally the extroverted people who suffer from this, who are the people who need to be around people, who are just like, it is scary to sit with your thoughts, and they need to distract themselves at all times, no matter what, because if they are left with their thoughts, that is a bad time. When honestly, I feel like for me, like as an introvert, I'm a trained extrovert, but as an introvert, actually, like it's so helpful to understand what the fuck is going on up here and in here. Like, it's so helpful to try to question yourself and like ask yourself, because like you have all the answers. Like people forget that, like, yeah, we have therapists, yeah, we have psychologists, but like therapists and psychologists, their goal isn't to give you the answer. If they're telling you what to do, they're not doing their job. They're supposed to help guide you to figure, so you can find the answer for yourself. The answer is always within. The answer.
They give you the tools.
Yeah.
You learn how to use your own tools for yourself, because everyone is unique.
Right. Yeah. Like there is no one size fits all answer to everyone's problems. It does not exist. Sometimes you can use other experiences to draw conclusions, to hopefully reach some sort of to reach some sort of solution for the person. But at the end of the day, it's still a different situation. And it's a situation that's unique to them, with all the unique and like personal emotions that go into whatever that issue is. So like you have to sit down with yourself. You have to write things down, like write out your feelings. Like you said, like talk to yourself in the phone, which I've done both of those things. I've written things down in the past. I've recorded myself saying things in my phone. Just to get a better, just so I can remember what that was and have a better sense and like learn from it. Because again, like it's scary to look within yourself, but you have to, because that's where the answer is.
Yeah, and I say with those things too, it's amazing when you go back and you either listen to your old recording, you know, maybe a couple days later, you basically do the recording when you're in this emotional space, and the emotional space can be, you know, very dark, very sad. And make sure you do it too when you're really happy and you're like, I am elated. Yeah. Like life is going really well today for some reason, and here's why. And when you go and you listen back to those, you know, a couple days later, a month later, for me, I'm reading notes that I took in high school at some points, and I'm like, wow, I was so like lost in myself. And reading them now, I'm like, aw, like look how far I've come in that essence. Like, it's so different reading those notes and being like, I would never write this anymore. Like, I would never ever. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and like it's
like because I worked through it.
Yeah, it's the idea of being like a different person. Like I think there are some people who are afraid of like losing track of who they are, because like the idea of changing or shifting from the person they are now and becoming something different in the future. For some people, that's actually scary for a lot of people, and I think it's like
it puts a stone in my gut, like.
Yeah, because like it's like is anything gonna like for so many people, they live in the now. And like they can't even begin to think about like how they will be in the future. They can't even begin to think like how their future self will benefit from the struggle, from the heartache that they may be going through right now. And I imagine like what you said about
the future version.
Yeah, the future version, like because like we're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to change. We're supposed to become better versions of ourselves through the trials and tribulations, through the good and the bad that we go through now. We're supposed to change. We're supposed to be different from who we were back in high school, from who we were back in college, to who we were as young adults, to who we were after that really bad breakup. We're supposed to be different. We're supposed that's how life is, and we're supposed to learn from that and become stronger and more capable, so that we can not only help ourselves better, but we can help others when we actually have the will to do so. Because obviously we don't always have the will to help people.
Yeah, we manifest our own energies.
True.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure you figured that out really really clearly when you were like when you're going through your grieving period. You're welcome to go into more detail on that if you'd like to, but like I'm sure you like that idea of like kind of like moving forward and like finding your own like finding a better version of yourself through like walking through the flames. And doing so until you were reborn on the other side. Like I love this metaphor. I've used this a lot.
Yeah.
Like you must burn
rising from the flames of the phoenix.
Yeah, like I mean the phoenix metaphor is like a classic one, but like I prefer the grungier one, the one where you basically have to burn off parts of your soul so that they can categorize and become. And grow new energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally having to burn that off of you, so it can be removed completely. It's gone, and now you have to learn to live with that part of yourself that has been removed completely. And that is how like you become a better, stronger person. At least in my opinion. I like to be very like I guess harsh with my metaphors, because I think like people are too afraid to like just look at shit. Like they're too afraid to look at the dragon in the face and be like, yeah, I know what you are, and I'm going to beat you. You know?
Yeah, be bold enough to defeat something. And some people, you can look at it that way. Yeah, you can look at like it's a challenge to get over whatever motivates like you as your individual self.
Yeah.
Because some people see it as a fight and they're like, well, I don't really want to fight it. Like some people will just accept it. Some people choose to ignore it. Some people choose to say it's there, and you can imagine the dragon as a little puppy. Oh, that's easy to deal with. Like our brains are not in control of us is a lot of the things that I ended up learning through life. I used to think like, oh, it's out of my control. I'm just doing these things because it's natural, it's nature, it's me. And it's like, actually, wait a second. My brain is not a separate piece. It's not a separate entity of me. It is me. It is all of how I am, how I walk. It controls a lot of the things that just keep me alive in general. And then it also is the thing that is, trained by my behaviors. Knowing that me doing the same thing over and over and over again for 30 days. Going to bed at 4 a.m. Staying in VR chat extremely late. Forming that a really bad fucking habit that I did, right?
Yeah.
Just because I work at 4 p.m., I could just stay up all night. So I was staying up all night. I would wake up at fucking 3 p.m. for like a year and then go to work. And my dad and my brother, and they were like, are you okay? Like, you're just like awake.
Are you depressed?
All night. We never see you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm awake when you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
That was my life. And I was like, you're right though, I was missing daylight. And I was getting very sad because like I did all the studies and stuff, and I was like, okay, I guess that humans need light. Ugh.
Yeah.
Fine.
There are a lot of depressed people
sun.
in certain parts of the world where they don't get enough sunlight. It's just how the sun rises and sets. Like just like nighttime is like so prominent. Those northern countries. It's really not good.
That's funny. Even just cloudy states like Seattle. It's one of the most depressing states to live in. Because they say of the cloud cover, because the sun doesn't peek through very often, and I'm like, oh damn, that sucks.
yeah, for real. Yeah, but yeah, it's so necessary to like give yourself a chance to like look at what your habits are, look at the things that you may be doing that ultimately may be putting you in a place that may not be as happy as it could be. Maybe you are not, like I said, not getting enough sunlight. Maybe you are in a cycle of just like staying up to unseen hours of the morning and not quite not quite like accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish, because like we only have so much time in the day. And if we're just kind of using it to just kind of be in VR chat, because here we are in VR chat right now. Like obviously I'm not gonna act like I don't do these sorts of things, because I do. Like I'm a VR chat user. I'm a power user. Like I have 2,700 hours 2,700 hours in this game, and I don't even call it a game. See, on this platform, I'm a power user at this point, and I haven't even been in VR chat for 2 years. Not even 2 years, but like I'm a content creator, so but it kind of is what it is, It's just kind of how things play out that way. But like it's good to be able to look at yourself and understand like, hey, I'm doing these things, I'm making these choices, and if I'm not happy with myself and if I'm not pleased about where things are going, I need to make a change. I need to acknowledge the fact that this is probably not the best thing for me, and if I don't like what I'm feeling and what I'm doing right now, I should change that. But again, that requires either a good friend to like sit with you for extended periods of time to help you sort through that, or you have to be willing to sit through your own thoughts and figure that out for yourself with like just talking to yourself through shit. And that's not something a lot of people can do.
I used to think that, right? Yeah, I used to think that like I could just do it all on my own, and I still have a problem asking for help. But it's funny because when like you said that you need a friend that you can like talk to openly about those things, or just a person in general that you can talk to about those things. And it's very important. Yeah, from my experience personally, I would go to a friend and tell them about a lot of the hardships I'm having in life, and I'd be like, I don't know if you can handle this right now. I'm so sorry if I'm like emotionally dumping stuff on you. And I'll have friends that are like, it's okay, it's fine. A lot of them do mean that. A lot of them are like, no, this is nothing. I'm not you. Like there's some people who aren't as empathetic as me, and it's a double-edged sword. I'm like, I love that I have empathy, and I can kind of just like try to get that feeling of another person's feelings. Obviously you can never feel the way someone else feels. That's what I want as a superpower. If I got a superpower, I'd love to be able to fully feel what someone else is feeling emotionally, because I think I could help so many people at that point. I can
have
like a full understanding of human emotion.
I can kind of vouch for that. This may be a little bit like out of left field, but like I actually can. Like I can see things from all sides. Like no joke, I've been able to do this since I was like as far back as single digits. I've been able to perceive emotion and truly understand people without it affecting me. Like in high school, I wasn't as strong as I am now, because obviously you're just a high schooler, and like people's emotions can affect you in a significant way if you let it. But now, like I have so much experience under my belt that like I can literally just listen to someone be very, very upset for hours on end, and I can understand what people I see body, I can read body language, I can hear emotion in people's voices, and I don't assume like emotion and voices, that is very hit or miss. I know there are a lot of people who try to like use voice tonality as a means of understanding a person's emotions. You probably shouldn't do that. It's not a very reliable way of. It's
more of a hint.
Yeah, it's
you're
more
looking for little hints.
Yeah, like people may drop hints, but like it depends on the person's personality. You need to understand the person's personality, what they actually can handle. You need to know them at a very like nuanced level to be able to listen to someone's voice and know that there's something the matter. Because honestly, like you can't do that with like everybody, but. I do believe that I have this. I can sense people's emotion. I used to consider myself like an empath of sorts, but I don't consider myself that anymore. It's more so I really take the time to learn people, to understand people, and I don't pretend that I know what people are feeling if I don't know them well enough. I haven't talked to them. But I can kind of sense.
Right, yeah, I can relate with that.
Yeah, I can sense like more or less what people are feeling. I don't know what they're thinking. That's why I ask questions. But I can more or less kind of get a sense of like there's something not quite right here, based on patterns I've learned from analyzing a certain individual, and that's just a personality trait that I have. And like
I love that's also like really introverted people watching behavior.
Yeah, introverted people do that shit, and like it's not a thing that most people do. Like I'm kind of different. I'm kind of weird in that way, you know.
Yeah.
But
even me too. I feel it.
Yeah. But you were saying
unique.
Yeah, unique. Which it's nothing wrong with that. But like you were saying before about how what was it? You were saying how oh God, I don't remember. I don't remember what you were saying before. There was a point that you made before about people and just kind of like listening to them and
oh yeah. Me, I get overwhelmed with those emotions. If someone's angry and they're talking to me and they're not angry at me,
right?
Yeah, I can like empathize. The empath in me, I guess, the way I feel the emotions.
You take it in.
I'm trying to relate to them. So I'm trying to like picture their anger and like be like, okay, if I was that angry, you know, rah, how would I be thinking? I like that, yeah, rah, anger. Yeah. It's like, how would I take that in? And I learned I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to I don't need to feel their emotions. I just need to listen to their emotions.
Right.
Just listen to how they're exactly talking and behaving, and then be like, okay, I'm there to listen. I don't need to take it in, because that's what would drain me so fast, right? I'm just like, oh, I need to learn how to control my like emotional drain, my battery.
Yeah, that's super necessary. Like it's like I need to recharge my battery, but generally speaking, if I really care about the person, like, oh right, you were saying before about like people were saying, oh, like it's okay, I'll listen, like it's all right, you're not offending me with whatever.
Yeah. And they are like,
when I say like I'm saying, I really mean it, like, because I know that I can handle it.
Get some water too.
Yeah, totally, yeah. So like I think that's important for like people to like understand, like when it's hard for people to generally like feel like they can ask someone for help. But like if they know someone who is capable of taking on, or at least listening and for a significant amount of time about the things that they're going through, I think it's incredibly useful to have someone like that in your life. Someone who isn't going to just break with you kind of explaining so on and so forth, but someone who can be very objective about the things that the person is going through and be able to either help offer some advice or just be a shoulder to lean on. But, you know, obviously, you know, you can only do that for so long. But
that's what's hard to do. Yeah, like that's why that humans are very social and communal, like creatures. We do need like a community of people. And it's weird now how we have, you know, the internet, and you could just be playing games and stuff with your friends, and that's great. But yeah, I think you have to have that talk and that time to sit down with someone else if you want to truly form a bond of friendship with them, and then you can both help each other out, and then you can kind of like build a group of people in your life. You know, you make connections with a couple different people, and that way you have something. You have the ability to make connections if one of those people doesn't end up being there, because no one's going to be there for your entire life. And like not even your partner. You know, you could be married to someone, you could be very close with partners. It doesn't mean they're going to be there forever. And I'm not saying like a relationship will end early or stuff. They could be there for 20 years, but it's still not forever, right? You still end up needing that connection of community, period. That's why if you like when I'm dating someone, I make sure that I also have friends.
Exactly.
Like I used to do that where I would just like delve into that other person and just like one-on-one. We are lit. We are so
inseparable.
Close. And then I would literally have the friends. Yeah, inseparable. We spend all waking hours together. And then I realized my friends are no longer there.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it's all your fault. It's all your. I've done that. I've been there.
I didn't juggle it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah,
it's crazy how how that can be damaging, even though your intent is to be very close with that one individual. But you just forget, like, you need those friends to do other stuff with, because one person who is your partner will never be able to fulfill everything. That whole concept is bullshit, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree.
And you need different sorts of people in your life, to help balance it out. Yeah.
So I was thinking.
I'm very thankful for VR.
Yeah, VRC has really made that possible for a lot of people, especially people who are suffering from social anxiety. It's a lot of people who deal with those sorts of things too. To have people to lean on, to have people who are willing to be there and understand them and listen to them, it's really invaluable to have something of that sort in your life. And I take your idea of like having having a friend there and having a group of friends. Like I've established this metaphor relatively recently. It's so funny. Like I love how metaphors enable to bring context to ideas that people may have known. They may have known about the idea, but they don't know it. They can't the idea is not crystallized in their mind, but they kind of know it. But then when someone says something like a metaphor and they explain it in a certain way that they understand, it's like, oh shit, yeah, you explain something, it
just makes sense now.
Yeah, it finally makes sense. And I use the whole idea of like a traditional RPG crew, like a traditional RPG party. So like you have people who have different skill sets. You have traditional RPG form. You have tanks, you have DPSs, you have healers, and and maybe you even have like an all-rounder who just plays everything, who does everything, and but you have these people in your life that support you in a way that you need at that given point in time. You're not going to always use the tank for something that requires more healing. You're not going to use the DPS for something that requires something you just have to listen to, like with this really, really hard thing. DPS can be really, really weak to too much damage.
Oh my god, yes.
So and healers can also be very sensitive to a lot of damage, but they can be there to kind of help you in the process of getting over something or kind of mourning through something. They can be that soft element in your life that you need for that particular situation. And having that party is invaluable. And I think thinking of it in those terms, I think can help a lot of people contextualize the idea of the friends that they have in their life, the value of the people that they have in their life, and actually understand kind of think about it in the way of this. Is this person actually contributing to my party? Is this person actually helping me in a way that is adding value to my life in a way that that is actually helping me through whatever it is that I'm experiencing in this journey of life, Because you form a party to go on a journey.
People, you're like, well, maybe they can't be there.
Yeah, you remove the people who are not contributing to the party, the people who are just there for the ride or there for the shits and giggles. Those are probably not the people you want to keep close to you. But you want to bring people close to you who are legitimately going to be there in your corner, who are adding something in your life that you can't get anywhere else. And that's what it means to form a close-knit party of 4 or 8 people that you can look to. And I think of it in those terms, I think will help a lot of people. A lot of people in VR chat who game. I think
look at the characteristics of the people around you.
Yeah, it's incredibly. I think it's incredibly useful.
Wow.
To think of it in those terms.
I love that because you made me think of a movie. I don't know if you've ever seen, was it Tokyo Train, or Brad Pitt was in it, and it's about 4 assassins on a train, and they all happen to be in the same spot at the same time. And it's on a bullet train in Japan. But there's one character, and he loves Thomas the Tank Engine, and he identifies people's. He loves it. He has stickers of Thomas the Tank Engine. He has the Diesel, he has Thomas. He knows the characters' names, right? I don't, but I know that a Diesel was a grumpy Gus, bad. You're a Diesel. And that was an insult that he would use on people. He's just man, you're like a Diesel. And he would put the sticker on them. But then whoever got the Thomas sticker was he had just full respect for that person. And he used the characters from that show to identify good characteristics in people's lives. And I never thought of it that way with that. It kind of thought of the same thing when you were talking about RPG characters and everything like that. It's oh yeah, We identify people in a metaphorical way through stories, stuff that we've played, learned. Yeah.
Yeah, life is the reason why we have what we have in our lives is because we have stories that are told, stories that that ultimately will guide us. Like we as humans use stories to help push us forward, to help give us wisdom. Like the stories that have endured through ages, that is where we find wisdom. That's where we find insight. And I think like they're the ideas that have like endured. I think that's really where the knowledge is. That's where we should be looking for the most insight and knowledge. And that's where kind of like philosophy comes into play, and that whole idea of like looking to the people who actually got it. Like
like creative outlets and stuff that people use in order to perform and show people what their thoughts were, in a more physical way.
Yeah, because we all go through this. Yeah. Like it's like we like we go through more things similarly than we realize. We're as a species, we're not that different from one another. And that's why I think it's so important for people to be more willing to listen to people and be more willing to be open-minded to other people's ideas. And though we may not agree with those ideas, like that is like we understand each other because at the end of the day, we all abide by the same stories. They're the traditions and the stories that have endured through time. That's really where we find the most meaning in our lives, and that idea of searching for meaning is a completely new topic. It's a completely different direction we can go into, but we're not going to go there because we actually need to talk more about VR chat. So let's talk more about VR chat.
The other reason I was in VR chat, right?
Yeah.
The real reason that I stayed in this game for so long is that the camera. Chat thought I was pointing at them, but sorry guys.
Yeah.
You too. That's why I stream. I love you all. It is fun. But the camera itself is what really threw me in. Because I was like, from before VR chat, I wanted to be a cinematographer. I wanted to film. I love camera work. I started with photography on a completely manual camera with film and developing film in a black room, like a dark room. My high school was old enough at the time where they still had one for 1 year before, and then I got to take photography class in a really old, huge place where we developed film. That's wild because it's so dead now. And they demolished the school. Right, so that's gone.
Oh, that sucks.
So I got that for 1 year. And I was like, cool, blessing in disguise. Because then I did that. I learned photography. I learned f-stop, and I learned all of everything I needed to do, which related into digital photography, which was perfect. So now I know how to use all the DSLRs and stuff. And when I learned that people film with DSLR cameras, they don't have to buy huge movie standard video cameras that cost thousands of dollars. They just buy a $1,000 camera, and then they get gimbals, and you can stabilize that camera, and you can make amazing footage. And then the iPhone comes out, right? Not the first time, but the good cameras later on down the road. Like 2016, right? It was the iPhone 10 or whatever came out, and that was revolutionary because you were able to now shoot like 2K video on a phone,
right?
And that opened up all the possibilities with YouTubers and you can get stabilizers for smartphones, and now you have amazing quality video with just a phone, and it just became a lot more affordable and fun. So I went to school for cinematography, and I just really fell in love with the art of writing a script and then actually using the camera and filming and then editing. And lately I've gotten more into the editing side of it. I enjoy filming, but I learned that I enjoy taking the film, taking the footage, and just morphing it into something else. Making something funny, even more funny and extra funny, or taking a moment and I love doing special effects and stuff if I can. I'm trying to learn as much special effects as I can. And that's my passion. That's what I want to do. What's gotten in the way of that is I can't make money doing it yet. And VR chat was at least a way to have a camera for free, or the VRC lens, which is only like $10 one booth.
Yeah.
That thing's amazing. That thing is amazing. And some of the things that, like, I don't know if you know Metacosm Studios here in VR.
I know about them.
I think they're the ones who made.
Yeah, a friend of mine introduced me to them. Yeah. I'm very interested in being involved with what they do. Like I'm actually a trained actor myself, so like I'm actually interested in doing some stuff for them. Like I do a little bit of like photography myself, and I enjoy cinematography as well. Like I can't speak very intelligently about it, but I have a very strong interest in that sort of thing. Like there are projects I'm literally working on and brainstorming right now for that require good cinematography that I'd like to do. So maybe we can talk about that at some point. Not on the podcast. But like yeah. Like I'd love to like talk to you more about that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the content creation side of it, of making videos and making TikToks, and then all the people that are just amazing. Like the Metacosm people do some crazy stuff where they program everything in Unity to work to their needs. Like they literally made a dolly. It's just a chair, right? You know, you can click on a chair in VR chat. You just click on the chair, and then the camera is attached right in front of you because you use the local view, and then it moves on its own, and it's a dolly shot. And then they made their own studios with their own sets, like you would in Hollywood. Of here's a room, wall cut out. And I was like, oh shit! It's wild. That's so much cheaper than buying a whole goddamn studio and renting it out and getting cardboard and building a set. But we just do it in virtual reality.
But it does lend itself to a whole bunch of different like technical difficulties than it would IRL too, because like you have to deal with just like technology tracking, you know, wire shorting out. You know, I mean you have to deal with that in IRL too, but like
syncing audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Syncing someone jumping, because you don't see when they actually do it. You're about a second or two off, and I'm like, oh my god, this is wild.
Yeah, but
that's what keeps me in here.
Yeah, it seems very fun. Like it seems very fun.
Passion for that.
Yeah, like the creativity in VRC is amazing, and that's really what kept me here too. The level of creativity, the depth of creativity that exists here, both in music, both in visuals, for music, like equalizers and shit. You have singers, you have dancers.
Amazing.
Yeah, like there's so much going on here. Like, obviously, you have like, you know, I'm a part of it too. I'm part of the ecosystem as a podcast creator. You know, obviously you have streamers as well. They make up the majority of the ecosystem. But you know, like there's so much creativity on this platform that I think it's pretty much unmatched. In terms of just like, I really do believe that all of the creative, quirky people eventually end up here.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
especially the introverted creatives.
Yeah.
Who have a lot to offer the world, but like can't physically go out there. This is a perfect environment for it.
Limited by money.
We're just making it better. True. That's true. VR is not cheap.
VR is not cheap.
I did dump like $2,500 on VR equipment in my life so far. That's a lot.
That's a lot of money, yeah.
Like, yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's funny because the only reason I got my equipment was through peddling VR merch. Was literally like I would buy a cheaper index. You know, maybe it had something wrong with it. I would just fix and replace that part because I knew where to buy them for cheap, and then I would sell it at a bigger price, and then I slowly built that up to so I could keep my own index. I had 2 indexes, like the headsets in my room. I had 4 index controllers in my room, and none of them were allowed to be mine because I didn't have the money to keep them. Like that was surreal. But slowly I've gained profit enough to be able to keep the things that I have. And
that's really smart.
You know, gotten generous stuff from people through Facebook Marketplace. I've met other dancers that live in my city that were VR chat dancers, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't dance anymore. I don't need the full body. You know, I'll sell it to you for cheap." And it's like, wow. I was sad though because I was like, damn, I could have met you in VR. We could have hung out.
Yeah,
but I was like, I guess we can now in real life.
Yeah, it's always really hard. It's really sad when like we lose people from like the whole like ecosystem. Like if a person has been around, like whether they're a world creator or a dancer or a streamer, it's always really sad when we lose them. I haven't really gone through any sort of like losses as of late, directly, but I was really sad when there was a certain world creator, SillyWilley, who I believe retired. I saw like a Twitter post from them like a couple months ago, and they're like, yeah, I'm no longer doing world creation, and that like they've made so many wonderful cozy worlds, and like I felt like that was such a loss, because like they contributed to so many people's, like I've used many of their worlds very often, so like it was just really sad like when people kind of move on from VR chat, and like it's honestly like it's a given. It's part. It's just that's life.
Thing of it.
It's life. People find other things to do. Maybe something IRL popped off. Maybe just they found a different passion. Maybe it could be maybe they're just not feeling that way anymore about it, or they haven't.
Yeah, we have to remember too. Like VR has a lot of free content creators, right?
Yeah, like the people doing this, they're
ask for monetization.
Yeah,
they're like, no, I don't need it. And I'm like, you made a lot of stuff that a lot of people enjoy. They would be willing to donate to it. Definitely, like if you are any sort of creator and you're any kind of artist, you are just kind of damaging yourself if you don't make a Patreon or make something.
You should
any sort of make the Ko-fi like thing, and just do that, because people that want to give to you are out there, and they don't feel bad giving to you, and you don't need to feel bad receiving, because it's a gift. Like at that point, it is them being generous to say, hey, I have extra. That's the thing too. We always tell anyone that they're like, if you don't have extra income, or like and you're giving this to me, you take care of yourself first, you son of a bitch.
Yep. 100%.
I'll come over. I'll find you. I will shove this money back and be like, we're gonna buy groceries.
Yeah.
Because some people will look out for other people before themselves, and it's like, there's a different kind of kindness too.
For sure.
But make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Number one.
100%. No one's gonna take care of you. No one's gonna love you better than you. That's something I've always stood by, and I learned a very hard lesson with that regard. But yeah, like VR chat lends itself to having a lot of people creating things just out of the desire to be creative. And again, like you said, people should be trying to find a manner of compensation for it, whether it's through Patreon, whether it's through Ko-fi, whether it's through the creator economy that VR chat has created relatively recently. They should be trying to.
That's true.
They
I
should
think that's a good thing.
Yeah, they should be willing to have people who want to compensate them to be able to compensate them for the things that they do and the things that they create. So yeah, I'm a full believer of that. So with regards to VR chat and like you being here, what is the number one reason why? Well, I mean, I guess you kind of mentioned that, why you stayed, mainly because of the creative aspects of VRC. So we'll skip that question.
Creative aspects and people.
Yeah.
And friends.
Yeah, got that.
The social.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So what is one thing that you wish could be improved about VRC that you've observed in your time here? Also, how long have you been in VRC for? Well, actually, we already know that. 5 years. 5 years ish. You've been in VRC.
Well, wait, shit, it's 2024.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What the heck? You're right, because I was in here right around before COVID happened. And I wasn't in here as often, obviously. I was very much a desky. I remember I went on Facebook Marketplace and I got my first Rift S for like $180, because I was like, whoa, wait, that's $180. I could do that. I can put that on a credit card and just leave it.
Yeah.
My happiness is worth it. The monetary, or the emotional value I got out of it was huge. Yeah, when I realized that was the entry point, I was like, okay, this is actually not bad at all. And the Rift S was a wonderful headset. Despite its hilarious, like, robot mic noises that I'm sure some people in chat remember from extremely old clips, where it would just go full robot, and it was hilarious. So yeah, I have spent 1,700 hours in this game according to Steam VR, according to Steam. And that's what it says on VR chat. So I don't know if it's like, if I need to be adding VR chat. There's probably more, because sometimes it'll only show Steam VR as the time played. And it's just.
Oh no, I don't use Steam
definitely
VR. I look at VR chat's time played.
Yeah,
that's how long
VR
you had the
chat
app
time played
open.
for me is 1,700.
Okay.
Yep.
I got you beat by 1K.
So. Yeah, a lot of people have me beat for sure.
It's not a competition though, but I mean, it's not exactly like a high point to say I've spent this much time doing this one thing, and it's not really, it's not really something to brag about, really. But yeah.
For me, it was like I have 3K in Rocket League. That's where I was when all the VR chatters were playing VR chat.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm not proud of that. I would much rather have like 3,000 hours in VR chat, because at least it's like experiences. But Rocket League's just me being toxic. I get the most angry, like aggressive, like fembro energy. That's what that game does to me. So it's so funny when I stream it, because I'm like, okay, I'm streaming, I gotta be chill. We can't just get too angry, we gotta relax. And it's funny because I enjoy the game more when I stream it. It's ironic. Played alone, I'm just like, sup? I'm done. Press another game.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been in VR chat for a hot minute. And yeah, like just the groups and everyone, I've thoroughly enjoyed meeting everyone, and look forward to meeting even more people. Now I'm having conversation with you right now. This is the coolest thing ever. It was like, because I love this concept. I've always wanted to do actually just like a regular podcast too, and sit down like and do the whole podcast and voice thing, because I ended up learning, right, aside from video, I also, before video, I went to school for music and music business.
Okay.
That's my college time. So I learned audio engineering. I ended up just learning audio engineering, video editing, video production, like all these things, lighting, like for photography, how to get natural lighting. And it's wild how much I've gained, but how long it's taken to gain this much information, and how much work it does take eventually to become a creator that people are like, wow, your stuff looks professional and amazing and stuff.
Yeah, they don't see everything you did before that. Yeah,
you can get there.
Yeah,
but hopefully faster, because I have ADHD, and ADHD will prevent me personally from learning things fast, because I won't be able to focus on something for more than a month. My brain will literally lose interest, and no matter how hard I want to focus on it, it's just like, no, we don't care anymore. And I'm like, how can I make you care again, brain? And it's just like, I don't know. And I'm like, you suck. And sometimes that's how I have to wait, and then I'll get stuck on another thing. So that's what it was. It's like, now I know audio engineering. Now I know how to make a podcast sound really fucking good, right? Through like Adobe and Audacity and stuff. I can scrub audio. I can scrub away voices. I can make sure there's no S's popping ever again. And I'm like, I enjoy the process of doing audio editing, doing video editing, doing like logo design, just anything that has to do with Adobe, I fucking love. And that's made me, and I'm like, wait, cool, okay, so I can make that into like a creative aspect. I can make that into a career. I can use this skill set. It's a very handy skill set, and a lot of people need it. And now I'm just trying to figure out, by starting my own business for video editing, and like, it's not gonna be a production company entirely, but it would just be kind of that, like a social media company, I guess. Something to help with social media marketing in that way. But not just advertising bullshit, right? Like actually creating good quality stuff. Yeah. I think there's hopefully.
Yeah, there's definitely some room for you and I to have a conversation about that, because I've started a project on the side. My community knows it as a Distortia. So that's literally a whole media project that I've started on my own. I'm not really on my own. I've had help from other photographers that have helped me out with it in the past. But I'm looking to kind of like keep things very, very small and like I want to keep it very, very.
You have to keep it manageable.
Yeah, keep it manageable but scalable. And so I have an idea of how I can scale it, but I hate editing. I can do it. I know how to do it. I hate editing.
That's fair.
I think it's boring. It puts me to sleep. So like, but I obviously like I make my own content, so obviously I know how to do audio editing, video editing, graphical editing and Photoshop. Yeah, I can do all the things. So like I understand like the value of it, and so like there are some things I can do on my own, but if I can like work with somebody to like help out with something or other,
it takes a team.
Better.
Yeah. No.
So I think we can have some conversation.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
definitely.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. But yeah, one thing about VR chat that you don't like, or that you wish could be improved on.
Did I ever answer that question?
You never answered it.
Oh yeah, you asked me how long I was in VR chat. That's right.
Yeah, you went with
the second question, the follow-up question.
Yeah.
Okay, here you could ask me again.
So, I literally just asked you the question, like just now. Like, what's one thing that you can that you wish you could improve about VR chat?
All right, the one thing I wish I could improve about VR chat.
Yeah.
They took away my anti-cheat. I'm still salty about that. Or wait, no, they added anti-cheat. They took away my hacks. Wait, they took away my mods. Give me back my mods! Okay, I said it. Anyway.
You're gonna make people think that
my dolly camera?
You're gonna make people think that this came out in fucking mid 2023. This is recorded. This has been recorded in 2024, guys. Just so you know.
We're still mad about it. We never forgot, you sons of bitches. We never forgot. But that's never gonna happen. So that's fair. I have not accepted it. Like that's the first thing I'd want back. But if I could change anything else, it would probably be, I hope that we get the chance to create bigger areas that can accommodate bigger groups, because it is cool that we can have 60 people in a room. That is amazing. But it would be super amazing someday if we can get enough supercomputer power to have 1,000 people in a VR chat world and actually have like a community, like this huge communal world. So less small worlds and then more really big areas. And you'd be like, hey, I'm over by this house, you're gonna meet me there at 3 p.m. Like more of a virtual experience, of a virtual, like, I guess, world. That would be so cool. And I think eventually maybe we'll get there, and it probably won't be with VR chat. It's probably gonna be a different game. But I don't know, we'll see. They've proven that they can keep on updating VR chat through Unity stances, so maybe.
Well,
I want to see Unreal Engine 3 or 5 VR chat personally.
That would be something. Unreal Engine 5 VR chat. That would be pretty sick. However, there's something in VR chat that does exist along the lines of what you're talking about, like having a large scale gatherings. Basically, there's a place in VR chat called VR Underground. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I like for a lot of people, VR Underground is kind of an elusive thing. It has been for me too. Like I've heard of it. Like I've heard whispers of VR Underground, because like you hear the name, it's like, oh, it's just a club. Like you're just like, oh, it's just a club. People go to a club. But honestly, it's not just that. It's actually it has another name called the Oasis, and it's very Ready Player One type stuff, in the sense that this place literally has areas where people can have a home. They can literally like have a space and have furniture, and there can be multiple instances in the world itself.
In the instance.
So multiple micro instances within the world itself. And like I'm hoping I can get them on the podcast. We do have that. Yeah, we do have that.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
And that is the only thing in VR chat that, to my knowledge, that currently exists on that level, and it's wild.
not VR chat, but the other game in Neos VR that existed in Neos VR.
I don't know. I never played
That's
Neos
interesting.
VR. Never played
In
it.
Neos Neos VR, one it is, and I might have to say was, because I don't know how active it is. It's still there. I know it is, but it's a very small community. But anyway, you were able to have your own inventory. You can just put anything you want into that inventory, any asset that someone's created, anything. You could put a voice box and you could put a voice recording in there that you made, throw it in your inventory, pull it out whenever you want to use it as a clip. You can pull out videos, you could do any sort of media, because it's all based on just literal links and data. But the cool part that I thought was amazing was what you just said, the micro instances. They had those, they have those in Neos VR. You can take any world that is in the game, and it's this little orb, and it's like dropping a portal, but instead of dropping a portal to load into this other world, you just step into it. You're just there. And it's an instance inside of the instance. But I can see why that could also be a problem when you put instance on top of instance.
Yes.
Like I've crashed in that game a lot because my PC was probably about to just explode because it wasn't ready.
Exactly. But
But
yeah.
now I need to see that, because if that's in VR chat, that's really cool. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
that
similar
exists.
concept.
Yeah, like obviously, like there are literally clubs. There are literally like people who are clubbing in the same instance, and there's like 3 or 4 different clubs in that world itself, in 3 or 4 different places, kind of thing. It's like a city.
Whoa.
It's like a city. It's
Yeah.
fucking wild. And like you
That's
can,
so cool.
and like you could also like you can
What?
make like another
Oh my
instance
God,
of it,
oh
and
my
like you can
God.
still get to the instance if you make another instance of the world itself. Which is like I'm hoping I can get them on the podcast. Like they are
Yeah.
very, very busy. I've had a chance to talk to them.
Braid.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's super, super cool. But yeah, like that to a degree already exists. And it's to the point where like I've been there during the point like I've seen daylight rise, and like it's set to your local time. So when the sun is rising in real life, it's rising there too.
Oh no.
People will get
The
lost.
reality breaker.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. People will literally get lost there. It's so cool. I'm so looking forward
That's
to
so
like
cool.
yeah, like this individual is working so hard on it. It's unbelievable. I'm really looking forward to seeing like where it goes. But I was just out, my mind was blown when I was there and I was talking to them about it, and was just like, holy shit. This is groundbreaking. And it exists right now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that is real. That's so sick.
Yeah.
I've always seen people in that world, and it was like, yeah, they're just partying, they're just doing another club. I don't want to join that right now. I'm chilling.
Exactly.
I could have been chilling there.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that it was a thing. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah. I think a lot of people don't know about VRU, and I've heard about it, but I didn't really know to the extent of what this individual is trying to create. And now that I know, I am just like I am sold. I'm impressed and I'm baffled. I am all the emotions. It's super cool.
Yeah, you can help get the word out about what it is and how it's unique through the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see about getting them on, because that what they're doing is mind blowing, and more people need to know about it, especially in VR chat. Like all the mirror dwellers, I think will appreciate what this has to offer.
Yeah, like I can just go over here. I can dwell in front of multiple mirrors. Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, speaking of like the whole idea of like the metaverse per se, where do you hope VR will go? Where do you think VR will go? Where would you like VR to go in the future? Like, do you envision like I don't know how much anime you watch, but like a sort of online scenario where we have like headsets.
Full dive me in, baby.
Yeah, full dive.
Put
yeah.
Neuralink in my fucking brain so I can just go into.
Yeah. That'd be fucking wild. Holy shit.
Already.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. That'd be interesting. I think like augmenting our bodies to be some sort of way, maybe with I think the reality of VR is it's not going to be completely 3D environments like this. I think that augmented reality is the way that humans are going to mostly accept a virtual reality. So I think that we might go more into augmented reality spaces with with glasses, so you can just walk around your own home and be there. You could have a party in your like kitchen with your friends through augmented reality.
Yeah, you can all kind of be there at the same time, kind of thing, which is already possible with what was it, like the thing
Quest 3?
the Quest 3, like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk did a thing. They did a podcast episode with that. Was it Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh,
no,
interesting.
wait, no. It was Lex Friedman. It was Lex Friedman, who's also a podcast creator, and Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, so they did a podcast with those headsets, and they're like in the same place, but they were not in the same place.
Yeah, the Quest 3 is something that I still want to try out. My uncle, who was like in his 60s, bought a Quest 3 with his wife. like that was their gift to themselves for Christmas. And he's like, yeah, come over and try it. He had no clue that I was like this deep in the VR. He doesn't understand that like I'm able to move my body entire, like I have full body tracking. Like,
yeah,
he's just getting his mind blown by like, I can swing my hands and play games. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, we're past that.
But yeah, he's like, come over. Like, yeah. So I need to go check it out because I really want it. And maybe he'll let me borrow it and I can hop in the VR chat with a Quest 3 and do, I want to do hand tracking. I don't know if the Quest 3 does. It does, right? The hand tracking. I know Quest 2 did, didn't it?
I believe they can simulate both facial movements and hand movements with the Quest 3. I believe what I remember about it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. I like for my streams, I do have my 3D model and I have the hand tracker that you can put on your chest. I forget what they're called. But anyway, it's like a pretty good hand tracker. It uses, the red beam lights that the same things that our base stations use to track your hand movements. And it literally uses your fingers and like puts bones on every single one of your fingers, so it knows like what you're moving. But I was like, I can put that I think I can use that in VR as well. I can literally plug it into my Index headset. So I think I can use hand tracking that way too. And that's what I think I like about VR is we're in the early stages of it now. Like the early successful stages. VR has been around since the 1980s. It just failed. It failed miserably back then because it wasn't there. The tech wasn't there. They weren't ready for it. And now we are. Now we're in a space where it's like we can have full body suits that are generally cheap compared to like a full mocap suit is still expensive, but it used to be only a movie studio could afford, this $30,000 mocap suit for one person, with the giant balls on it.
Yeah.
Like now they're way cheaper made. I say that because it's like $3,000. It's still not cheap, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's accessible.
So someday, I think maybe full dive would be sort of that. Maybe we would be able to still have full body movement and tracking. I like the idea of having webcam tracking and being able to move your body in front of cameras, just reading your body. But I think that it needs to be physically on us for the best results.
I agree.
And like haptics. Be able to feel that. Yeah. That's the next part too. Like be able to really feel things. Like if I touched your shoulder, it would actually be, and it wouldn't just be like a like, oh my gosh, my shoulder is buzzing.
Yeah.
It would actually feel like
a normal
like
touch.
Every single finger, right? Like every finger that touches your shoulder, like phantom sense for people who don't have phantom sense.
Exactly. Make it democratize it for everybody. I'm in full agreement with that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that I think you're onto something with with augmentation. I do think that the only way that we can get to a point where we can have like a full dive experience is through body augmentation. Because I don't think that having these toasters on our faces is going to get us there. With Nerve Gear for SAO, for example, and we have webcam tracking too. Like those are all limited by hardware itself. Like we need to kind of get past the hardware and we need to get into our bodies. We need to have like augmentation that allows us that is synchronized with our actual like nervous system, that allows us
like carbon electronics.
Yeah.
Like,
it needs to be like ingrained into us and tested in a way that allows us to we should be able to like look, we can like adjust our vision to like, or like have something that we can like pop onto us, like a very tiny thing, like a la like Black Mirror style, for example, like a very tiny thing that we can turn on that synchronizes with everything that's already been put into our bodies and allows us to access like an augmented reality, just with our eyes and our bodies all in one, and it gives us the phantom sense.
Great concepts.
I love it. Yeah,
that one episode in Black Mirror where they can look back on memories. They can memories.
Yeah, they can rewind. Yeah.
Holy shit! Like that was. I loved how they looked at the psychological aspect of it, and if anyone hasn't seen it, it's like you can go back in your memories, you can choose the day, you can choose the time, and you can watch it and you can rewatch it. I believe it's connected to your nervous system, so they could emotionally re-feel it again too. So people would get stuck in loops of like moments that they really liked, or in the show's case, because it's a fucking drama and they can't get away from being dramatic. Here's the worst case scenario. Like you'll go through a very sad part of your life, and you'll develop a lot of angry, certain murderous intentions. It
has to be completely ingrained into our bodies for it to work, and like it has to be something that's synced up with our nervous system that allows us to access
and the body has to accept it too. And our mind, our mental has to accept it, and our physical has to accept it, and people's bodies are going to reject. It's like, oh wow, and some people will choose to live organic, like Ghost in the Shell.
And then
I'm a full organic.
Exactly, and then it'll be racism towards people who have augmentation, and the cyborg life, like actual like androids, like in Detroit Become Human. It'll be like that, like, and you know that is the future that we are barreling towards, especially with AI on the horizon, with augmented reality and VR kind of it's getting its legs. We're still in the infancy of it. It's alive at this point. It's no longer kind of like an embryo like it was, like you said, back in the 80s. It's actually alive now. So we're kind of working our way towards something that's going to hopefully be really, really cool and really, really interesting for a lot of people, and give people it's going to start like with what Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink. It's going to start with helping people get access to their bodies that they didn't have before. It's going to start from a medical sense. It's going to start from we'll probably maybe it'll be able to help dementia. We'll be able to cure dementia with this kind of technology.
Oh my god, yeah. And sort of like brain problems and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe we'll even be able to resolve things like I was going to say low functioning autism, to allow people to kind of have better control over their minds and bodies. Even people who have Tourette's, even to be able to kind of resolve that in their brain to a degree.
That.
Yeah.
If I could stop twitching from my tics, that would be amazing. I have Tourette's syndrome.
Really?
So funny you brought that up.
No, I had no idea. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's that? What's that like? What's it like living with that?
Right. Yeah, that's an interesting topic. I always forget that because I was diagnosed in 4th grade, with tics, with Tourette's, and I have compulsions where my body will just tense certain muscles. I have to do certain movement behaviors with my muscles. When I was 6th grade, around there, I had to hit or flap my arms like a chicken, and I would hit the sides of my rib cage, right? Mm-hmm. But I had to hit it at my brain was like, you have to do it at a perfect hit and a perfect slapping sound and a perfect hardness. That meant that I bruised my ribs from hitting them so hard so often, because it was like a weird OCD thing too. It was like a Tourette's OCD. It had to be perfect, and then when I got it perfect, it relieved the brain probably for however long it chose, and I had to do it again. And living with that was what made me feel really like what I wanted to not be seen. I didn't want to be seen by others because I was like the weird fucking kid that twitches and shit, you know? And I thought, I was like, I'm really different. I'm really different from everyone else. And I alienated myself quite a bit, but there was a ton of people and friends in my life that are like beautiful and just amazing, and I love them. And they accepted me. They didn't give a fuck. They're like, I don't care if you're twitching.
Yeah.
Why would I care? And I'm just like, why would you want to be my friend? And they're like, because you're funny, man. They're like, what are you talking about? You make me laugh. Like,
it's like, we're not laughing at you, dude. We're laughing with you, kind of thing, you know?
as long as they weren't laughing at my tics, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm fine. But even at that point, I exponentially like turned my tics into something that was comedic. And like in 8th grade, I would purposefully do outbursts of my tics and just let them be and just let them do whatever the fuck I wanted, because the teachers knew I had Tourette's, and it was finally understood by, I guess, adults or something. I don't know what happened. Tourette's got enough money to sponsor a bunch of fucking videos that were hilariously bad. It was called, this video was called like, I have Tourette's, but Tourette's doesn't have me.
Oh yeah, that's
cringe.
That's super cringe. That sounds about right. Yeah.
It's okay, because all the boomers ate it up and they were like, oh my god, I understand you now more than anyone else in the world. Okay,
sure.
Okay, Sharon. Yes,
yeah.
of course. You thought I loved it. Like, so I grew up as a church boy. You know, I was an altar, you know, boy. No jokes. I was an altar boy. I I had a female priest. Get fucked. And it was I was born very Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm not now. I was like, no, this is not my thing. Never mind. Okay. But it was so funny because the old ladies that I sat next to in the pews in church, right? I would have my tics, and that would make me move in ways, right? And they would be like, oh my god, like, honey, are you cold? And I was like, I have told this bitch that I have something called Tourette syndrome and what it is so many times. So I'm gonna fuck with her. Which is like, I don't know, I just feel it. I feel something is trying to get inside me. I was pretending to be possessed.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the demons got me. I need to be exercised.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Needless to say, she understood afterward that my mom had that conversation with her. No, he just has tics, and now she gets it because she's like, oh my god, I thought he was going straight to hell. Oh, thank the Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like, no, if God gave you Tourette's, you know, fuck that. It's not helpful. It's only been a problem. The thing with Tourette's is I still have them technically. There's a way and a hope that you can grow out of them when your brain develops more. So they always told me that, you know, in all the way from 4th grade. They're like, when you get older, you know, they might go away. When you get older, you might grow out of some of the habits. And granted, they were way worse when I was younger. But I had to learn how to control impulsiveness. But you can't just stop it. So if you ever get an inkling where you're like, I need to fidget. Anyone with ADHD can probably relate with this, with the fidgetiness of it at least. Your brain says, I need to do this. I need to do this, or OCD. Like, I need to turn the light switch up a certain way. If I don't do that, I won't be happy. Mine was, I need to twitch. I need to hit my arms against my side really fucking hard. But I know mentally that that's going to hurt, and I'm literally going to be bruised. And it's gonna have to heal, and it takes time, and like I might break a rib eventually if I keep doing this. Like, this is a real problem. So I had to try to learn how to just stop it from happening, and that isn't how it works.
Right.
If you have an impulse and you just tell the impulse,
your brain just does the thing.
Yeah, it doesn't work for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a couple times where it's like it doesn't work, but then it slams even harder than it was before, and it's just like, oh fuck. So I learned how to outwardly, like, I pictured energy leaving instead. So like good old fashioned, like when Avatar, like Airbender stuff came out, I was like, oh my god, yes. I can just like, I can move and I can release energy. And if I had the thought of like releasing my energy through a different way, like instead of having to like tense up a muscle in my body, because that's what a lot of my tics are, it's you tense your body really strong, like a bodybuilder would tense their body, and you keep it tense and you keep it tense, but like you'll eventually pull something.
Right.
I pulled way too many muscles in my body to the point where it's like, okay, now I have 3 days to heal that torn fucking ligament.
Yeah.
Like it hurts, it's painful. So I had to learn how to, when I got that inkling, like tense different parts of my body and like release the tensions through other areas and just find all these other ways to release it. Eventually I got older, and the tics, I thought, because I was in pure denial, it's like, oh my god, the doctors were right, it's gone, it's totally gone. And it's not. I learned that it was emotionally based. That's why I got so interested in emotional intelligence and learning about brains. I wanted to study brains so bad.
Same.
So I did. I just went and studied, and I learned that my emotions are what trigger my tics. So if I'm really excited, like I'd like squeeze, like I would do that all the time, like to the point where I'd pinch my vocal cords, and they would be, you know, I would go hoarse. I couldn't speak. I found those outlets, and I still have them whenever I have big emotional outbursts. Like I was getting really frustrated editing the video that I was editing this past week, and I tensed my upper back, you know, a little too tight, because I was just getting frustrated, and I tensed it really tight out of frustration, and then I pulled like something in my neck.
Ooh, that's the worst. Holy shit.
And I was like, but then just it was funny because I was like, wait a second, like, you know, I still have tics. Whoa, I still have Tourette's. And I think the other part of it too is I didn't want to be identified as the Tourette's guy.
Yeah.
I've already been identified as the tics guy. That was my whole high school thing. That was middle school into high school. And it's like, I don't want people to see me as the alley guy that has Tourette's. I want people to see me for more of who I was.
Yeah, of course.
And that was a development of personality, going back to how we change and grow. And like, I've been through a lot when it comes to, you know, brain disorders and how hard it can be to accomplish things that a neurodivergent person could just do everything in a week if they set their mind to it. Right? They're just there. They're just ready to go. Is that what it is? Are they the neurodivergents, or am I the neurodivergent?
No.
I don't remember.
No, you are. You're neurodivergent. I forget what the term.
What is the one that's not?
The one that's
but
not.
It's not neurodivergent.
Yeah.
They can just. It's funny because they could sit down and focus on something, you know, and be done with that project. As long as they're like, as long as I work. I was like, I wish I could do that. That'd be amazing. But also I should be happy with how I am, because I have so many trades under my belt. I've done so many things in my life. And I'm only like, I'm young. I'm still young. I still have so much life to do even more. So I'm very excited for the next, like, you know, 5-10 years of what I'm going to create and what I'm going to do, and how it's going to inspire and affect other people, you know, that might watch it or listen to it or just be there. That the whole idea of being an influencer is literally, I want to be the influence for people's positive change.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, which I can definitely relate to as, you know, someone who's also a content creator. I wouldn't call myself an influencer. I don't think I maybe I influence some people, but I don't like the term influencer. It's not something I kind of ascribe to myself. But I can understand like what you mean. I understand your meaning. Again, we do the same thing, so I understand.
Yeah, and I know that there's like a certain underlying to that word influencer. It's got this. It's got a little bit of
stigma.
The most positive.
Yeah.
It does, and it's like, yeah, that's my version of what I would think of as myself as an influencer. So it's like, yeah, I'm not trying to influence people to buy products and shit and merchandise. I'm not doing the capitalism, and you know, I'm like, oh, I'll be a psychologist, but I don't want to go to school for psychology. So I'm just gonna teach what I learn. More of a philosophical standpoint than a educational standpoint, I guess.
Yeah. Which is great. Like I think
I want to write a book someday.
I also want to write a
sick.
book someday. I want to write. I want to write multiple books someday, actually. But like I actually really want. Like I actually want to write a script. I want to write a script, and then I want to do something like what Metacosm is doing. But anyway, that's completely different thing. We're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna talk about that off stream.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it would be it would be super cool. Yeah. So, do you have Phantom Sense?
I do. Yes. Yeah, mine is not insanely strong, but it's still pretty strong. I have to like see it. So like if you touched my arm, I'd have to physically see your avatar like touching me. And then I can kind of like get that sense of feeling. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, like I have it to a degree. I have to like, I unfortunately have to completely shift my my neurology by getting high.
Yeah, your mindset, like.
You know, I literally have to get high.
Okay.
Like I literally have like
Yeah.
Like it's I have access to it because I've actually like I've experienced it in different ways. I know how to access my Phantom Sense, but it requires an emotional connection. I know that it requires multiple emotional connection, which is harder for me to access when I'm completely sober. To be able to access that when I'm completely sober is hard because I'm a thinker. At my core, I think and feel, but I'm largely a thinker. Yeah. So to be able to turn off the thinking part of my brain and just feel, as I have to get high, to kind of really engage.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's my whole thing. Like, and like the really funny thing is like that was a journey of me literally being jealous of other people having Phantom Sense and me trying to figure out like what the hell, like what do I have to do to if you can do it, then what do I have to do to get it too? So like I had to figure it out, and I did, just like through experimentation.
Nice.
Experimentation and experiences with certain people who I trusted, you know. So. Yeah.
I had to like, I remember getting into VR, and that was like the biggest thing in VR chat back in like 2020, 2021. People were like, oh my god, do you have Phantom Sense? Because in all honesty, all of the extremely lewd assets, there was nothing good yet. Mm-hmm. We didn't have DPS or SPS. It didn't exist yet. Mm-hmm. And so people were just touching each other. They were just like, oh my god, can you feel me like caressing your body? And sometimes like for me, I had to speak it out. Like I was like, yeah, do you feel me like touching your knee and just like rubbing my one finger over it? And I would simulate it through my words into their brain and make them look at it. And there was like, they're still there. There's Phantom Sense training worlds that Japan made. It's all in like Japanese.
Yeah.
With like bowls of very realistic food and theme. They're trying to get your Phantom Sense for smell. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, that's far-fetched. Like I tried that. There was one thing of like, I saw the spaghetti in the pasta bowl and I saw the red sauce and the steam came up and I was like, okay, if I really just like, you know, I just trick myself and I'm like, yeah, okay, bullshit. This is real. This is real. Like for a very brief second, I was like, oh my god, I smell spaghetti with tomato sauce. Whoa.
Yeah, but I mean, it honestly could have been a placebo. Like quite honestly, you could have just been placeboing yourself.
I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? But like I've actually had like smell. Like Phantom Sense has hit me randomly with smell. Like a person's walked into a room and I've smelled perfume. Just like,
oh whoa, yeah,
just like, just not like, I don't like, it's not like I'm close to them or anything or romantically attracted to them. It's just what I smelled in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's happened like maybe like 2 or 3 times to me. It's not very common occurrence, but like having an emotional connection, I found is what activates mine, and to tap deeper into that emotional connection, being high that's the way to do it for me, at least. Yeah. But you know, it's not for everybody.
Well, it opens a lot of the parts in your brain that would interact with certain like endorphins that are being released. It makes a lot of your connections much more active.
Yes.
That's why you feel a lot more tingly, like with marijuana. And like I've delved deep into THC. because where I live, we legalized it, and I voted to legalize it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yes, please. Because in high school, I don't know how the hell I got access to any sort of drugs in high school, but I did. My friends were always the ones that had it. We get into like the sketchy Honda Civic drug dealer car. Like legit. And he just pull out this fucking giant jar of just nugs, and I'm like, damn, where the fuck? How? and like and then I was like, when they legalized it, they were able to make THC a lot more potent, a lot safer. You could dose it, like it was just another fucking drug. And I learned that with ADHD, apparently it's a natural controlling agent for people with ADHD.
For focus.
And that's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes, it does help a lot with focus. It helps with focus, but it's ironic because it's like this perfect balance. If you get too high, you're no longer focusing. You're just like
gone. Yeah. baked or toasted.
Baked.
Yeah.
So it was a big part of my life. It still is a very tiny part of my life. I microdose because I'm skinny as hell, and like my blood flow, my heart pump is really fast. So I go through chemicals like easy, mad. I need very low dosages of anything to get anything from it.
I see.
So like so they give me a 10 milligram gummy of THC, and I probably eat about a quarter of that, so that's about 2.5 milligrams ish.
Yes.
And that's enough. I'm like, it's funny because if I do a 10, I'm gone. I can't speak.
Oh wow. Jeez.
And for some people, they're just like, I need 100 milligrams to even feel a little bit, and it's like, yeah I don't need much.
Yeah, for me it's like me it's like I minimum I need 25. That's like the bare minimum. 30 is like perfect. 30 is perfect. But if I want to be really careful, 20 or 25, you know. But that's just because of and that it probably has something to do with like your body, like body tone, body just body what's the word? Yeah, like body chemistry. Yeah. It's just different. Like you said, like your heart beats really fast. My heart beats really slow. Like I have very controlled breathing, so like my ability to process like oxygen and just my blood flow is I have a very slow heartbeat because everything is very like controlled and how I like manage my own like functions. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean it's something. I train myself.
Like
you know?
I'm the opposite.
Oh, okay. What's up?
I don't control my breathing. And I have really bad anxiety issues sometimes, and the big cause of the anxiety, which I like panic attacks. I don't really have panic attacks, but I've had a lot of people that do have them. So I was like, why do so many friends have panic attacks around me? You know, because I was usually the one that would be like, okay, I'm here, let's calm down. And I learned and studied like what you're supposed to do with someone that has a panic attack. You know, because you could really amp up someone the wrong way. A lot of it was breathing. They're just like, oh yeah, so they got really anxious because they started breathing really fast, and that made their heart rate go up, which made them more anxious. So then they started just spiraling in their brain, which kept the anxiousness at a certain level of anxiety. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what caused the anxiety. Was
lack of controlled breathing.
Oh, I need to remember how to breathe. It's like, ooh. So I do that every now and then. I'm just like, you when you said breathing, I'm just like, all right, I'm supposed to be breathing.
Yes. Yeah. Deep breaths, and don't underestimate the power of deep breaths. They're extremely useful for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Like yoga training deep breaths.
For real. True. So let's talk about streaming a little bit. So when it comes to streaming, like what got you into that, and why do you do it?
So originally I thought streaming was like the wrong way to do anything on the internet and was really stupid, and that's hilarious.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to make lots of videos and content. And, you know, like Markiplier was one of my biggest inspirations in that aspect. And Jacksepticeye and like all the giant names that everyone else was like, yeah,
That everybody
and
knows,
inspiring because
yeah.
they did it. They figured it out. And then I didn't do that. Like, I started making YouTube videos. I did a couple series that are really old, face cam, and everything. And I really want to make videos, but they took so long.
Yep.
And I was like, but Twitch streaming is just sitting there playing a game and hoping that people come and watch you. That's what I thought, right? I was like, oh, the people are just like, I'm just like hoping that people come in. That doesn't make sense, But it's interesting because that's how it ends up going. And a lot of the time I was like, I don't want to sit there for 6-8 hours, for a very small amount of productivity back.
The streaming
So
the streaming to
what
zero
ended up getting me into
viewers,
streaming? Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah,
it's rough.
There's always that scare of like, oh my god, the viewer count.
No one's gonna
It's
show
like the
up.
hardest thing to ignore. But you do have to. You as a streamer, period, have to learn how to be like thank God for the option to hide
Yep.
the viewing.
I'm so
number.
glad for that too. I don't use that shit. I turn that shit off all the time.
I hide it, and then I'm like, I don't need to look at it. It's not there for any sort of importance. Because you can get caught up in the stats. But anyway, what got me into streaming after all, I guess, was that I saw the one-on-one connectivity of it. The like a YouTube video is great and all, but the most interaction you have with your viewership is the comment section, and that's it. You can comment back to them, you can text them, and there's a certain amount of whatever to that. But usually most comments don't really turn into any sort of conversation. They're just like, they comment on your video, you like it, you comment back. The rare person that does their third comment, that's so fucking rare.
Yeah.
And it's just like, on Twitch streaming, I was like, I did Rocket League. I did a lot of Rocket League streams because I was like, oh, I'm really good at this game. Maybe I thought that people only watched streamers that played games well. Which is somewhat true. But I learned that I don't want to be a professional game streamer because I'm not. Exactly. Yes. I've always had this personality. It's always been me. So I was like, and a lot of people, liked my personality. Like, cool. I'm just gonna stream. And then Maichu came into my life. I met Maichu. Oh my god. We went back pretty far. I think it was in 2020 or 2021. It's wild because I've known her for so long. She's like my sister. I love her. And she's like, oh, you could stream VR chat. I was like, what? And there's really old streams in my archives that are still there of going into old horror worlds with her, and learning the camera and stuff because there was no fly cam yet, and it was basically the old VR chat camera was like very bare bones, so rough. You probably remember it.
I might remember it to a degree. I came into VR chat, and it was.
Oh, you said 2 years ago, Ash, right?
Almost. It was May of 2022.
Okay.
So I was like just on the cusp of a lot of innovations.
Yeah. This camera here, the new one, is amazing.
Yes.
They did a very good job. Minus all the mods that they haven't added in that they totally could add in, but they just don't because they're lazy. Wink. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what got me into streaming. VR chat. Because now people were socializing with me because it was a social platform, and it was a social platform that I was streaming, so it was natural to have chatters. And I was like, whoa, that's what I want. I want chatters in my chat. I want connection with people, live connection right there. I love that. VR chat gave that to me. We did a bunch of streams in VR chat, and those were always the most fun. It's ironic because I don't do them as often now. Well, almost rarely. But I'm getting back into it. I think that I lost it because of again, it's like back to that grieving area of my life. You know, I'm at the cusp of it. I'm at the end of the grief. Not the end, because it never ends. It's gonna be with me forever. It's gonna be with me forever. Okay, here's. Oh my god.
Okay.
It's gonna be with me forever because I lost my mom.
Oh.
Because she got cancer and she passed. You know, like fuck cancer. It's just is it. And that was 2 years ago, and it's unreal because it doesn't feel like 2 years. I'm a completely different person, is what my brain says to me. It's like I'm so different, and I am. I've changed a lot. Like, and when I go and watch those old VR chat videos, it reminded me because one of them is literally a scene or a clip where I'm saying, "Hey guys, I'm just going through some really hard stuff right now. You know, my mom has cancer, and I don't know if she's gonna make it." And that was one of the last VR chat streams, and I think that's why. I think she has a strong connection to that time in my life. Before she passed, I really wanted to show her something creative that I was doing and something beautiful that I was doing, but I didn't reach any sort of what I would consider level of like enough success. I didn't need to do any of that.
I mean, you did photography. You were doing photography and like doing like video stuff. Like that's something that would.
She was very impressed with everything that I was doing in my life.
Yeah.
She said that she always bragged about me to everyone that she talked to. And I still didn't think that I was good enough. I was just like, what is this feeling? But now I'm like out of that. I've moved into the new Silly that is in touch with his emotions again, because I rejected them obviously for a while, in and out, because grief is it's the most emotionally intense feeling I've ever had in my life. Like, to just be happy one moment and then if something triggers, you know, like a hot face towel, and then I thought of my mom and how she did her beauty routines, and she would put candle wax on her hands so that she's like, it peels the dead skin away and it makes them fresh. And I was like, whoa. And then she would put the hot mask on, and I put a hot mask on my face just to relax one day, and you know, it was so overwhelming with memories of her. They were both melancholy, they were so happy, so sad, and I just cried into the hot mask so painfully, just so intensely. And it's like having to go through that intense emotional pain, you have to like build up to that moment. You have to reinforce your mind and your body, because when it hits again, it's just going to be intense. And over the past 2 years, you know, I did stop streaming. I entirely stopped streaming for about a year.
I noticed. I looked into your stats, and I saw like a pretty long gap in between. Like it was like 2021 and 2022, and like even then, like you were still pretty sporadic about it.
Yeah, it was like I would stream once, maybe, you know, and then just the grief was so strong. And I'm happy that I'm not in that grief anymore, that I've matured and worked through it, because I had to definitely work through it hardcore.
Of course.
Yeah, losing my mom in my 20s, that's not normal. That's not what people expect. Like, I expected her to be there another 20 years, you know? And it's like, yeah, life just smacked the fuck out of me and my family. And I'm at a space now where I'm finally like, okay, I'm gonna get into this rhythm again. And I started to for a little bit. I got a little burnt out maybe the past week. I think I've only streamed like 1 or 2 times each week. It's because it hits again. It's just like these emotional gaps where I'm doing pretty good. But if I overwork myself, and I, like what we were talking about earlier, if I don't sit down on my bed without any distractions at all. You know, I have to, if I don't let my mind process things, it's just stuck. I'm just stuck there. So through grief, I've learned a lot. I'm happy that I learned a lot through emotional grief and how to work through it. But that's why I stream now. I continue to stream because it's something that I was hitting really hard, and I really, really fucking enjoyed it. And back before she passed, and now I'm able to enjoy it and not be, I guess, so burdened by everything else in life. I learned through my streams that I don't have to be an entertainer the whole time. I can just be me. And the people that come to chats and the people that are there in the Discord and in the communities, and they're wonderful. They're so cool because they just accept you for who you are. And if they don't, you know, they're assholes, you just ban them.
Yeah.
It's and he's like, I'm cultivating a community of people, and that was the end goal. That's why I wanted to do YouTube. I just wanted to build a community, and a good sized one where people can meet each other, find friendships, and not necessarily with me. If people are coming to my streams to get close to me personally, you know, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to. There's so many people.
Yeah.
But I still like the moments that I get to interact with each person. Everyone gets a little piece of Silly. And then those who are lucky enough that, you know, I fall in love with, or I get very deep with, like very connected with, you know, they get a little bit more of me. But stream-wise, that's what I want. I want to cultivate a community. So now I'm going to be doing streams, and the streams are going to be chopped up and cut for YouTube and become compilations. And that's going to be my workflow. And then I'm going to turn that into a video editing business and make some income from streams and YouTube, but also help other people with their content and get it out there.
That's great.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people have a lot to share.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like we need people like yourself who are, you know, not only trying to build their own community, but also trying to create content and can also use their skills to help other streamers. Like, hey, I'm one of those people. Like, obviously I have the skills to do it myself, but like there are definitely people out there who would definitely benefit from someone like you who's able to like just get into the weeds and get that content out. So that, you know, they can grow as well. It's so funny that you mentioned like building a community, because that's one of the things that I completely am trash at. I am trash at it, building a community. I would much rather just spend the time making the shit, doing the things, and not have to worry about like trying to maintain a connection with people. But you know, at the same time, you know, I know that what I do and how I speak to my community on very often is very much meant to be someone who is ideally trying to connect with them. I'm trying to motivate them. I'm trying to give them the strength to know that they can accomplish the things if they put their mind to it, if they give themselves enough credit and they trust themselves and they trust in, you know, what Nefertiti is telling them, then they'll do something great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know,
you're good at it. You're naturally good at it.
I guess. I mean, it's kind of like my calling.
Probably more than you think.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely something I can do pretty well. Yeah, but I just like kind of like doing like the community thing. I'm just like it's so boring to me. And like I love you guys. I really do love you guys. But like it's you know, I really like, I wish I didn't have to, but I know that as, you know, the leader, you know, if I'm trying to build something and cultivate something, then I have to put my best foot forward.
Oh yeah.
But you just naturally like it. Yeah, like I don't mind leading. Yeah. I don't mind being a leadership figure, but like I also am just like like having that natural desire to be in that kind of position and to have the kind of skill that you do. Like I wish I kind of had that. But we can't be good at everything.
It's like, yeah, exactly. We have to choose what we want to focus on. Like, yeah. I can't personally. I've learned that right this past week too. you know, I spent a lot of time editing that video, but instead of streaming, you know, I was editing a video. And that might have hurt my viewership more. In the long run, obviously videos are there, and if you amass a bunch of them, people can watch them and watch them and watch them, and then you'll grow exponentially at some point, if you're looking for growth. If people that just stream all the time, you can grow that way, but it's like really tricky, really hard. Almost everyone grows off of Twitch. No one grows on the Twitch platform, right? They use something else.
You mean YouTube, right?
Through Twitter posts.
You mean everyone goes through YouTube, right?
Posts.
You said everyone grows on Twitch.
I don't know. No, I meant everyone doesn't grow on Twitch. They grow on other socials.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah. They grow on other platforms. Like Twitch, if you're trying to grow, Twitch is not the way to do it. You can find some success, but if you want to grow exponentially, it's good to create content on other platforms. Is what you're generally getting at. Yeah.
And what's cool is like you could even just do short content, and there's just people that make memes and of their OC, and then they make a meme and they make a ton of memes. And it's funny, they are compiling things in a different way. They're making a bunch of memes instead of making a bunch of funny videos, and they're putting them on Twitter, and they're putting them on Reddit. And that's how they get their viewership.
Right.
And it's like, it's interesting because that's the trick. The trick is to find your creative calling and find a way to, you know, like
find a
workflow
workflow
and stuff.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I did. Like you have to find something that you truly are passionate about. You can't just like I think there are people who have this mentality that like you have to make memes or you have to make quote unquote funny videos to grow, and like that's not the key.
You have to do TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not necessary. Like what you need to do is find something that one can provide value to the people who are watching, and two, you gotta be fucking passionate about it because people feel that. It has to be something that you truly enjoy doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you really have to put yourself out there openly. You have to be very open, to be a personality, that brings people into your energy and your circle.
Yeah, you have to have the energy. You have to be open about it. Like you said, like there's no way you're gonna be able to be an entertainer. Yeah. Like people are not like being a streamer is not something you could just like do. There are people who are just not fit to be streamers, because they don't have the ability to kind of take what is inside of them and bring that out to share with other people. They can't. They
can be really scary.
Yeah,
really
like showing who you are to other people can be very, very intimidating, and people just think they can hit the go live button, and like sometimes you just hit the go live button, but I truly do think that like even if you do that, you still have if you're successful, there's still an innate energy about you that people are connecting with, and having to essentially you have to be able to connect with people and engage with people in a way that they're going to really kind of resonate with. Like just kind of like being there, just kind of existing on camera is not going to be enough to get people's attention. Like existing, you can do it off camera. You need to be able to engage, you need to be able to engage, entertain, and evolve. So like
that's what's interesting is so like people would come up to me, other streamers, and be like, "Oh, you have so much energy. You're so funny. Like I wish I could stream like you. I wish I could be that." Because they have this image of like, "Oh, I need to be Fillion. If I want to get big,
have to be funny.
I need to be hilarious.
Yeah.
I have to be really fucking energetic all the time." And I was like, "No, that's me." Like, sure, people are like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky," and I was like, "What?" Like my Chu completely flipped that on its fucking head for me. She is such a chill streamer. She is. I keep bringing her up just because me and her and on our streamer journeys are very aligned. Because for me and her, they started around the same time. We worked on a lot of stuff together. I still share a ton of ideas with her. Anyway, she's a comfy streamer. She's like so comfy and cozy, just chill. So it's funny when I would go and stream with her, and I'm on her streams and I am fucking like, woo!
Yeah.
And then she is just like
Can
Oh,
you?
mellow
Yeah,
child.
true.
Oh my god, hi. But she's so understanding too, and like she doesn't really. I don't think she cares really that much. She probably giggles, but like I always get her chat like riled the fuck up. Oh my god. And then and then when I left, they were just like, "Why is that guy have so much energy?" What the heck?
Yeah. It's a different vibe that she has cultivated for her community, just like you have cultivated a different vibe for your community, just like I've created a different a certain vibe for my community. And like it's all about what you bring, how
It's
you
you,
bring
your
yourself.
personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People are connected to your personality, to what you bring. Being like being entertaining is important, but like you have to like the entertaining aspect comes from being able to be engaging too. So entertaining and engaging are one and the same. They work together. And by using them both at the
Yeah.
same time, that's how you get people's attention. That's how people generally
And
are
I
willing
would
to give
say
you.
like,
Go
oh
ahead.
my god, if you're a good just chatter, like stream, you are in, and you're also in like the top category of what people look for
Yeah.
entertainment. They
Yeah.
literally just want you to be talking the
Just
whole
talk.
time and
Yeah.
about something, even if it's remotely interesting. That's what's wild. Like just chatting for me is I enjoy just chatting, and it's fun because I can yap. But solo just chatting on a stream is very, very tough for me. Especially if like the comments section, or if the chat is just kind of like there's not much chatting going on.
Yeah.
It's just me talking, and I'm just like, okay, I've ran out of things to talk about. Like, there's some people that'll never run out of things to talk about. They could talk for 6 hours straight. Amazing.
I'm just saying, like, hi. I do solo VR chat streams all the time. When I'm not doing the podcast, I do a VR chat stream, and I'm just talking.
You do, yeah.
But I mean, I'm also really
have to be playing a game.
Yeah, I'm also really fortunate because like I do have a pretty active chat, but like at the same time, like I didn't always have an active chat. Like I didn't always have that. So like back in the day, I did bring people on back in the day. But now these days, I'm just like, I just talk. Like I like to just kind of engage with people, and even if I'm not really engaging, I just want to be able to. I'm still just like connecting with whoever is out there. Like I go into every stream not even expecting anyone to be there, because sometimes I'll start talking and then chat will just die. Like I'll be in the middle of talking and chat will just die. Like I've been disconnected from the stream or something. Like I'm not even live anymore, type shit. And I'm just like,
you just gotta keep going.
yeah. But you know, like it's definitely a skill that not everyone has. But I think you have to you have to know where your strengths are. And I know a lot of VR chat streamers usually tend to bring people on to assist them with that. But you know, I can have people on, but for various reasons, I prefer to just kind of be solo and just really just talk to, like, you know, the people, you know, or the person, or to myself, you know.
Talk at the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
I try, yeah.
But I know it's not easy. It's not easy to do. It's really not.
I'm not as good at that. Yeah, I'm not. I get distracted in the world, and that's what I need to do. I'm just like, oh, look at this! Look, I picked up a thing. Oh, it's crazy. And then let's go run this way. I can't stand still in a room and talk to the camera. I just can't. It's hard. It's fun when I get the energy to do it, though. It's like, ooh, this is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's actually why I stream. That is why I enjoy streaming so much. Is I love doing the 3D VTuber and playing the game and making funny moments happen, and then clipping that up. I treat streams now as the recording session. I have a button I press whenever I want to clip a 30-second clip, you know, and then I use those clips to make some funny video. Because instead of, I was like, I don't want to just stream to stream. I want to stream to also be kind of recording.
Exactly. So, you're not trying to create moments, but like you stream to be ready for moments. Like you need to be ready for the moments so that you can use those as content. Like everything that you do, not everything, but you should stream with the intention of using what you stream to create content with it. That is like.
I think it's just the video inside me, like the person that I always wanted to film. So now I'm filming and recording.
Yeah.
I'm doing it live.
Exactly. You're just doing it you're doing it live, and you have your thing open, and you're just letting it rock, which is good. Like that's really that's the right way to think about it. So so my next question for you is what are your goals? Do you have any goals when it comes to streaming, or are you just kind of doing it for fun? Not that you can't have goals and have fun at the same time. You can have both at the same time, but
I'm not streaming just for fun. My goals are still to grow everything. So I want to grow the YouTube, I want to grow the Twitch, I want to grow the Discord server, and I want to grow the Twitter. So I want to get people from different communities, bring them in, so that they can see what I'm doing. And that way, maybe I can get more support, so I can not work so much at the job where I'm just working at a job to make money there. You know, it's not a passion. I want to do more video creation and editing, and then I want that to be like the business model is like SillyWilley editing, or like Silly Edits or something. I don't know. LLC. I've already owned one company in my life. I owned a moving company for 5 years that I made myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I know how to do it.
So the skinny femboy made a moving company.
Oh, I love that.
Really?
I love that.
Okay.
I love walking up to fucking people's homes and they're just like, "What's this twig doing?" here?" And I was like, "Yeah, hold on one sec. Let me lift this
I
seat.
got
You can't
this."
I'm 6'3". I have a lot of leg power. And what do you lift with? Your legs, not your arms.
Right.
Boom. And physics. Once you learn physics and how to pick something up and move something, you could pick something up with very little effort. That's what's great. So
Okay.
I loved that. Like, I was just a skinny, tall guy. And then my assistant, one of my best friends, he's a little bit shorter than me, a little bit bigger, burly built. So they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. He's the real boss."
You got the muscle there.
And we both were so fast and good at it, and it was just so great when they were like, "Wow, well, we weren't expecting that." And I was like, "I know. I love destroying your perspective."
Yes. I get that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
so
cool.
I know how to run a business. I know how to make a business, but I don't want to do physical business. Yeah. Doing the moving did end up I have scoliosis too, and it just moving just made the scoliosis worse. It made the S curve in my back way worse. So I was like, "Oh, now I gotta go to physical therapy and fix my back." Oh fuck. So I stopped doing that. Now I just do as many workouts as I can, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do video editing. I'll be a computer nerd and work in front of that stuff instead." So that's the goal. The goal is to all those things. I probably need to narrow it down.
Well, I mean, you said to grow. You said you want to grow, but I think any content creator wants to quote unquote grow. What do you mean by grow?
Right. The growth number would be my goal on Twitch is to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the year. We're doing good, right? We finally gained some momentum, and then I stopped streaming consistently. I was like, fuck. Okay, you need to be more consistent. It would probably be just to be able to have to pay taxes next year
on streaming
for my content creation.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Right? So
makes
I have to hit
sense.
the
That makes
threshold.
sense. Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing to kind of facilitate that? How are you, I guess, mobilizing your community? What are you doing that's maybe different from what you did last year? How are you gonna
more
reach
consistent
that?
schedules. Definitely doing 2 to 3 days a week. I already work 4 days a week, 32 hours of my job. Sneaking in 3 streams a week was really hard. But I learned, if I limit my streams to 3 hours, I can do this. I love doing a good old 6-8 hour stream. But then I reap the repercussions of doing that is like the lack of sleep, the fucked up sleep schedule, the oh shit, I have to go to like work at an 8-hour job that I have to be there at 8 hours. So
Yeah.
A consistency, gaining a consistency in scheduling has already proven to be effective. So I'm gonna keep doing that for streams, 2 to 3 days a week, and then at least one video a week is what I'm going for. You know, just to start. One, like, I think the last video I did was almost 4 minutes long, and it took me fucking 4 minutes. It took me like 8 hours of editing time. So
that checks out.
Increasing my editing time.
Yeah.
Increasing my efficiency and speed at video editing. If I could put out like an 8 to 10 minute video on YouTube once a week, I see a lot of creators that do that. I was like, oh, okay, that's how long it takes.
Yeah. Like,
cool.
Yeah, the like I said, that like I was saying earlier, the editing part is what pisses me off. It's like I know that if I want to put out a 2-minute video, that's gonna take me like 4 hours to edit. It's usually double of the actual content itself. So like,
especially if you're not doing consistently, if you're not like on your game when it comes to editing and you're not in the flow of it, it can take forever. For real. yeah. So I like to I want to avoid that as much as possible, but yeah, like I mean that all sounds good. I mean that checks out. Like you have a plan and you're executing on it, and like and we're actually gonna do like donathons and subathons this year. It'll be my first year ever doing anything like that. Technically, like I've been streaming. I got my affiliate like a long time ago, but I've never celebrated it. I've never hit the year mark because you know the grief, mom passing, everything hit at a point where I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be celebrating like my one stream anniversary. I streamed like 6 times or something. It's not a celebration. Yeah. But I think now I'm finally ready to be like, hey, you know, we should do a donathon. So that's gonna be in March. Okay. It's actually this month.
Oh, all right, awesome. Yeah.
Twitch said that it was my affiliate anniversary, and I was like, oh, it is? Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go. That's great.
So I'm planning that. I'm putting that together, and so hopefully doing some bigger stuff with, just like fun streams that are going to be more not just playing a game or something, but like actually doing, wheel spins and doing some fun torture things the femboy has to do for entertainment. And the hot sauce just on the spoon bullshit. I don't know. I had to create a lot of ideas for it. I want some creative ones.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's awesome. I'm glad.
We'll be really jumping into like all of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. Like that's a really big step. I've yet to do any sort of like I did like a semi donathon, but I don't really count that. I did that last year. I didn't really quite like that very much, but I totally get what you mean. Yeah, it's a lot to do, and I didn't really plan out very well myself. So, either way, I'm excited for what you're gonna do, and definitely keep up the good work. I do want to talk a little bit about your perspectives on love and romance, really quickly.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of what are your well, I guess first of all, I usually ask this question, are you single?
I am single. Yep.
Okay. And so what are your standards when
Very
it comes
single.
to Oh, I think you're like one of the first guests that like actually leaned into it. Like yeah. By the way, it's usually me hyping them up. Honestly, it's usually me being like, yo, chat, this lovely young man right here is very, very available. Check him out.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The availability part's the hard part. Am I available? No.
Because we're making content and streaming, and that makes us even less desirable.
so goddamn busy.
I know. So basically,
What about love life?
Yeah. So like, what are your standards? What are the things that you kind of lean into or look for when it comes to being in a relationship with someone? Like, what matters to you most about a person?
With relationships with people, I like someone that is pretty emotionally aware of themselves, and I like someone that can take care of themselves. So it's called an interdependent relationship. That's when two people are like so dependent on each other that they need each other all the time in order to function.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I don't. I've been in those, and I don't want those. I want both people, me and my partner, to be dependent, so be able to take care of their own stuff, but still be able to come together and bond and help each other and love each other, and definitely through those harder parts. And be that support for each other, but not be a complete support for someone else, because I've done that. I've lived that. It's not sustainable.
Nope.
Just tears the one person down, and the other person doesn't get your help anymore, and then they don't know what to do because you've trained them to come to you for help, and now when you can't help them, they really are lost.
Yep. And then you get nothing done.
Yeah.
Like, because you're always just
I'm
helping
worrying about them the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck, I need you to learn how to take care of yourself more. At the same time,
have other friends.
You can still,
like we were
I can
talking
still
about
help
earlier.
you, but that as well, yeah. It's like you can't be dependent on one person in a relationship, because it'll crumble. It'll tear them down. They won't be able to do what they want to do in their life. You won't be able to do what you want to do in your life, and it's unfortunate. So yeah, I guess someone who's definitely worked on themselves. That's what I look for most of the person, and you can tell pretty quick.
So
yeah.
Yeah. How do you know, like, what is your kind of cue that you're interested in somebody? Like, do you have any sort of, like, is it like, we're very philosophical individuals, so like we kind of believe in energy and, like, the flow, or like just how we see people and how we interact with people. So like, how do you know, if anything, that a person is someone that you are interested in? Like, what cues you in for yourself that lets you know that you are interested in a person?
That's the ironic part, is I fall for people really quickly, really easily. Like, when I vibe with someone, just have a good conversation, it's just like I connect, physically with them, and then also emotionally. That happens a lot with a lot of people, because I can connect with them pretty quick. So I have to make sure that I don't get attached too quickly. And the signs I look for are, it's like, okay, does this person, have stability in their life? If they don't, I'm like, shit, they don't really have stability. I can't long-term pursue this.
Right.
Unless I see them as some kind of growth, some kind of goal, anything that they might have in the future. And even then, it's like, most people talk about having a better future, but then don't work towards it. So I have to be really careful of that. I fall for people really fast, because I'm just like, oh my god, you're amazing, you're so cool. Because I love personalities. If your personality and my personality match really well, it's just gonna be immediate connection. And then I learned too, it's like, okay, that's when I started friend zoning people and being like, you're a friend first, and then moves into relationships. That's how I like to
as
do
it should be. There's this idea that you have to rush into everything. Like, you don't have, just because you find someone interesting and attractive doesn't mean you have to immediately jump into something like with them. You should be a friend first at all times. Absolutely.
Yeah,
get to know them.
If you're gonna cultivate a long-term relationship, then you should definitely do it.
But so you're looking long term. Okay, so you're a future looking individual who's like, you don't want something that's just like something that's like, oh, I'm gonna have this, and however long it lasts. You're looking for something that's gonna be like, can I see myself with this person for the long term kind of thing.
Yeah, if I'm looking for like a partner, like the long-term goal, that's it. There are those like moments in life that I've had, and I think I'm still probably in them now, where I do find people really attractive, and I let them know that. And then I'm like, yeah, cool. If it turned into a long-term thing, that'd be neat. But right now, it's like it's just short-term. If we both get some sort of emotional connection out of it, then it's cool. I'm happy with that. And as long as we're both mutually like, okay, yes, we're both here for that reason. That's like me being okay with the fact that it might not be long-term. But if I can spend 6 months with someone and they're really good 6 months, and that's the time that we got together, I have learned to value that more than grief the loss of that love or something. Because sometimes it is just there for that moment in that time period, or even sometimes it's there for like the 6 months, and then all of a sudden 1 year later you reconnect again with that person, and yeah, you're together again, maybe even longer, because we don't know in life. It's hard and tricky, and there's no clear future, and being okay with that, I think, is what ends up happening with me. I would like long term, and I can think of long term, but obviously it's not the most realistic thing. But I can tell red flags and signs of when someone, if they haven't really done goals in their life and accomplished stuff or gone for things, then it's like, oh yeah, well, I don't think you're going to in the future either. Unless you have a massive life change. But damn, that sucks. So if I'm inspired and impressed by someone, I'll probably be more attracted to them.
Gotcha,
Definitely.
Gotcha. So there isn't like something that like flickers inside of you that lets you know, oh, this person is interesting and I should, like, I'm interested in them. It's something that kind of grows with time as you get to know them, kind of thing.
Yeah, the really fast flicker used to be there, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, immediately I would fall for a person.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, obviously, like, I think you can still have that kind of flicker, but just be aware of like you don't want to fall for them immediately, type of thing. But just like, this person is special, and I think that I should kind of get to know them more.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, it takes multiple meetings. Yeah, it takes multiple dates. Like I don't fuck on the first date.
Neither do I. Yeah. That is fair.
It'd be awkward. It's just like, because I've done it before, and I was like, this is really awkward. I don't know you at all. We're completely inexperienced with who each other are.
There's nothing there to kind of like grab onto. There's maybe plenty of there to grab onto when you're doing the thing, but emotionally,
physically,
emotionally, like psychologically, not really. You're just kind of in there in the moment, So it's good to have. Yeah,
that deeper connection is nice.
Yeah, very, very nice, especially when it comes to things like sex. That's super important. I would say, for real. So if someone,
especially then over and over and over again, it's multiple meetings, like multiple times. I have to get to know the person over different experiences we have together, because I want to know too, like, how you respond emotionally to things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like a fucking, that's my feminine side. I'm literally testing those people.
Yeah.
Socially looking at them and being
how do they respond when they're upset? How do they respond when they're mad? How do they respond when they're sad? Like little like just getting to know them in that way. Yeah. Hey, you're testing the waters. You should, if you're looking for something long term. Absolutely.
I don't want you to blow up on me out of fucking nowhere when we're like living together.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, where did this abusive fucking person come from? This isn't who I was dating. And it's like, you were the whole time. You just didn't figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, no surprises. Like, ideally, like, the only surprise you should find is the person doesn't throw their underwear into the hamper. It's the only real surprise you should have.
Things like that are fine.
Yeah.
I like letting people's like little habits they have around the house and stuff. Some of them are really cute.
Yeah.
Definitely a cute person though. I do fall better for like just like cute people. I'm not so good with like aggressive types. super dominant, aggressive people. I'm just like, you concern me, like, 'cause I don't know how dominant you're gonna end up being. You know, if you're gonna try and like completely control something through a domination, that's hot and all to a point, but it's not when it involves like, you know, doing the dishes, and I asked you to do the dishes, but then you were like, fuck you, I go to work all day, I'm the man of the house. I'd be like, okay. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely important to be able to to think about those things and to look into those things when you're getting to know a person. So, if a person wanted to get to know you, if a person was attracted to you, what would you say that they should do? How should they approach the idea of catching a SillyWilley?
Catching a silly catboy in its wild environment.
Yes.
It would be finding out if we're into similar things. Definitely, I like meeting people in groups. If someone were to just like slide into my DMs and I don't fucking know you, like, if it's if you complimented something about like what I did or something, maybe you'll get some extra brownie points. But the real way would be to come to some sort of like thing that we can do together, or that we happen to do together, like VR workouts or something, or inviting me to things that you think you're like, I really enjoy this. I think you would enjoy this too, because that's an attempt at getting to know someone. It's not, you know, too much pressure because it's not one-on-one. You're kind of just going there to do a thing together. So doing activities with me, inviting me to activities, that's definitely a thing for that.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You heard it here first.
That's a good question. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
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 That's actually very true, though.
Yeah, I think it's important to know like where people stand, where people like how like if you were trying to court yourself, what would be the best way to do that? I think that's kind of insightful to figure out about yourself, so you know what you're looking for, and you can have a better sense of like what people are doing right and wrong for you, and you can just be like, well, I already know what I'm looking for and what I want people to do for me because I've already analyzed it for myself. You know, I think that's useful.
I don't think that I've analyzed that enough in my life. I think I'll need to do that some more.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm glad I could help you get there.
Yeah, because it's new to me. I'm not usually the one being pursued. I'm
Really?
usually the one doing the pursuing and failing.
Huh.
This is all new to me. Well, it's not new to me. I think that I've always been attractive. I just didn't know it. And I was just like, nah, no one's attracted to me. My self-esteem was shot with Tourette's and like ADHD as a kid. You know, it fucked me up well into my 20s, regardless of whether I wanted it to or not. Right? I still get very down on myself. I still think I'm just like, wow, I don't do enough. There's things that I'm not good at that I should be better at. I'm really hard on myself, and it drives me forward to do stuff. So I have to make sure that I congratulate myself when I do something good. Like, I'm proud of the last video edit I did. I was like, wow, that actually looks pretty funny. I liked that a lot. I watched it multiple times, and it was like, I can still laugh at certain moments of this multiple times. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this. So yeah, I guess I should look more into that. I don't know what people can do to show attraction to me. Because people have done stuff that I don't like.
Of course.
I do know. It's just like, okay, you shouldn't pursue me that way.
Yeah.
I'm not a piece of fucking meat. Like, I've been pursued as a piece of meat. The whole prey, like...
Yeah, like subby wubby shit.
Yeah, because they saw a femboy and they were just like, yeah, all femboys are little subby bitches. And I was like, you haven't talked with femboys, have you? A lot of them are like, a lot of femboys, like back to the Combat Willie name, like a lot of us were extremely manly aggressive, probably more than you, because we were trying to overcompensate. Like, I have had many points in my life where I was a complete asshole, like a complete dick for multiple years of my life. Very bad to my friends. Very rude. And like, I slapped that silly. I slapped him. He needed to be fucking slapped. Like, bad.
That is fair. That is fair.
Too much aggression was not good.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, it's better to know what you're looking for and to know like what you're like, so you know like what you used to be, and now you can like just better yourself and form yourself into who you were meant to be, which you seem like you have, but you still have that tendency.
Oh, I definitely know more about me.
Yeah. Like if you need to, you can put people in their place, and it's good. I think it's healthy to be a little dangerous. I think it's good to know how to be dangerous. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
I'm a real switch.
Okay.
I think that's what's great. I'm a femboy that's an actual switch, and it's not me saying like, oh, I'm not dominant, or no, saying, oh, I'm dominant. Oh my gosh, I could be dominant, and then getting subbed
immediately,
like being subbed immediately after.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm totally like, I can do both. Yeah. I fulfill my partner's needs is what I end up wanting to do. As long as they fulfill my needs in return. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the deal.
Two-way street. For real. I like that.
Mm-hmm,
That's good. All right, so I got a couple more questions for you. So where would you like to be in 2 years from now?
Oh, in 2 years. I'd love to be able to be working from home in 2 years. If I can just be doing the video editing stuff. Or some form of editing, like media editing. So like I said earlier, audio, video, production. I can do it all. So it's like some sort of stability in that. I want stability in 2 years. That would be nice. And then also like emotionally, I hope that I can get back to more of myself, I guess. I haven't felt like myself ever since mom passed. So I want to keep working on that emotion stuff and get back to where I was. And obviously I can't get back to how I was. I think that's part of me. I still have to accept everything that life is completely different, and it will be completely different for the rest of my time on this earth. So I'm just gonna keep growing and learning. I don't have any like major goals though. In 2 years, I guess I would want the video editing business to be making money, and be profitable. And maybe have a partner. It would be nice to have a partner that I can actually see myself with for a while. They have to be really fucking accepting of like how busy I'm gonna be though.
Oh yeah.
And also really like, I'd be like, hey, we're gonna spend time together,
but
and you're not gonna work. And I'd be like, yes,
right.
You're right. I am overdoing it. Like.
Yeah. Like you gotta have the balance. But at the same time, like they need to be understanding of like there will be times where like you gotta get shit done, because like literally like if you're like nothing is built by just fucking around all day. Like so like you have to be able to set aside the time to really work on those things, but also obviously be willing to give time to your partner. And I think having a balance is perfectly reasonable. But again, like the balance can only be struck by both people understanding of the expectation that is there, and that comes with communication and trust. And that's obviously built over time.
That might mean like I only get together with my partner 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have to be okay with that. That time we have together is important to me.
And that moment.
And important to them.
Yeah.
In that moment, and not to be thinking of and worrying about like, when am I going to see you again? Oh, I want to see you more often. And it's like, I get that, but also we need to be comfortable not seeing each other all the time, but still loving each other and still building and connecting. It's still very possible. I think that's actually the reality of most adult relationships. When we're kids and we're younger, we have a lot of free time. Like as a teenager, you can really dive into relationships as a teenager and just like really enjoy every fucking day
moment,
with that
yeah.
person, you know, and I did that, you know, and I experienced that. And it was nice. It had its nice moments, obviously,
Of course.
but yeah, until it became unhealthy.
Like up until the point where I learned how to have goals and ambitions, and like where I actually wanted to create something that's meaningful and leave something behind on this planet. Yeah, you know, the whole spending every waking moment with one another. Yeah, it kind of didn't work out very well, you know. But like and like and
I wish that could be the way.
and see, that's the thing. Like if you
just get food and water in a house and just live with someone forever, be easy.
that would be easy, but
Goddamn.
But unfortunately, you know, we need that connection. But at the same time, like that, and that's why it's so important for both people involved. Like when it comes to like I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. Like that person has to have goals too. Like they have to be understanding of your time, and you have to be understanding of their time. But they need to have goals that keep themselves like on track, so that they're not wondering like worrying about like everything on every waking moment. So like they have the goals, they have the purpose, they're aiming towards something, and I think that's where the magic happens, where you can set aside the time together. You know, hopefully both of you are like making the effort to set aside time together with one another. It's not just a one-way thing where one person is setting aside time. It's like they're saying, "Oh, I'd like to let's hang out this time," or it's something that you two agree on and that you do every week. So like either something that's scheduled that you do it at this time on this day every week, or one of you. Like there's like an exchange of like I set everything up this week, you set something up next week, kind of thing, and like we'll work it out, kind of thing. Yeah, like I think that's like an ideal working relationship.
Yeah, and that's like relationships do take work. Like that's totally real.
Yeah.
That's how long-term relationships take work. Like you definitely put in the effort every single time, every single day. You know, yeah, even just like with little good morning texts and stuff. Like they're cute. And those little things are important.
Yeah.
And then the little things, and then the big moments when you're together. And not every moment's gonna be magical and perfect. Sometimes you just go and fucking binge a show together, you know. Or maybe you do. Or like you're like, okay, we both have this Wednesday off. We are doing nothing productive on Wednesday. We are both recharging and cuddling and fucking whatever it's gonna be. Like that's gonna be Wednesday, and that sounds exciting to me. I'm like, yes, oh my god, something to look forward to.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's quality time. Like no matter what you're doing with your partner, it should be quality time, ideally. Yeah. Yeah,
as long as you're together and you're there, you're present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not distracted by other things or other people. Because you know, we all know there are a ton of distractions that can take us away from things. So
I would even say like no phone. Be like, yeah, we don't get a phone.
Yeah.
Turn the cell phone off.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Shut down Discord.
That's the biggest.
Shut down Discord if you guys are not on Discord, you know, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Like we don't need this. We could just Because that whole habit of like picking up the phone and grabbing it when you want a quick rush of anything.
Yeah.
It's just like such a destructive habit to social.
Agreed.
It's so bad. My roommates do it all the time when I'm like having a conversation with them, sitting downstairs. You know, we're on the couches, we're watching YouTube or some shit, and you know, they're watching TikTok, they're talking to me, and the fucking videos playing on YouTube. And I'm like, you are emotionally, like, I don't know if they realize that they are emotionally just shutting everything off for themselves. They are distracting themselves entirely. No think, just distract. And it's every day. And then I'm just like, ooh, that's not a good, healthy, long-term period. And they're younger than me, so I'm like being the whole fucking like overbearing adult. I'm just like, okay, you're in your early 20s.
Yeah. Those. I mean, honestly, those are the kinds of people who are afraid to be alone with their thoughts. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Just like one.
Yeah. It is what it is.
But
But
it's ironic because my dad ended up doing it, my mom ended up doing it. I was just like, wait, when did you guys build this phone habit? No, stop it. It's like every human does it because we have that opportunity, and it's so easy. It's such a easy habit to build and a hard habit to break.
yeah.
Like there's studies now of Gen Z and their anxiety levels
Yep, through the roof.
based on them not having a cell phone near them. And I can only say that objectively because I'm old enough to have grown up with a fucking landline.
Same. I am too. I am too. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like that weird in between gap where before digital, like the digital fucking boom happened, we got the back tail end of what used to be, and it's like, yeah, I can see it now. If you grew up in a world where cell phones were the thing and smartphones and tablets were always there, and there's a device in every single room that you can pick up and just look at and get distracted on, I can't imagine being raised on that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
For real. For
Granted,
real.
like we had TVs and like fucking PlayStation and shit, so like I would just delve into cartoons and PlayStation, just play games. But I'm happy with the way that my life is going now.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Mental breaks. Take digital breaks. It's important.
100%. 100%. So yeah, where can people find you? We're at that time.
You can find me.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Yeah, on all sorts of social media platforms. We've got SillyWilley on Twitter. So Twitter handle is SillyWilley.
Can you spell that out?
SillyWilley.
Okay.
I would post it in the thing, but I don't have a right hand.
No, don't worry about it. It'll be on the screen. People will get it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we got the Twitter. We've got the Silly Sin Bin, the Discord channel. All of my socials are also on my Twitch page and stuff. They're on my Twitter. Any social media, you'll be able to find all my other socials on as well. Twitch, obviously, is SillyWilley with an underscore at the end. And then TikTok. TikTok is also SillyWilley.
All right. Cool.
I think that's all of them. I think that's all the major ones. I'm on Instagram, but I don't ever do anything on there anymore.
Yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense. All right. Cool. And yeah. Where you can find me is if you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you've already found me on YouTube. My name is Nefertiti with one I on YouTube. So you can find me there at Nefertiti. Just type that into the search bar. Boom, you should find me. On Twitch and on Twitter, it is Nefertiti with two I's. You can find me there. There's also the podcast Twitter, which you can find, which is Sweet Talking Pod. So you can find me. You can find more information about the podcast, updates about our guests, information about hiatuses or anything pertinent to the podcast. You can find that there on Sweet Talking Pod. Of course, there's also my Discord and such, but those things will be provided in my link tree, which you can find either on my YouTube channel or on my Twitch channel. And also, there's also the Patreon, which I'll pitch again for those of you who are interested in supporting the podcast and receiving exclusive post content videos from our guests from the podcast. So if you're interested in getting all the post content from past guests, you can go to the Patreon and see if there's anything that you like at patreon.com/Nefertiti. So for the time being, YouTube, we'll be saying goodbye to you all. I want to thank you very much, Silly, for joining me on the podcast this evening. I really do appreciate you sharing your story, sharing your journey. I know there are a couple of things that we didn't really dive much into, like your time as an IRL streamer, like your time as essentially a flesh tuber. You know,
it's my flesh tuber days.
yeah.
I'll return to them someday. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, so there's yeah, there are like little things that we didn't dive into, but we spent a lot of time talking about psychology and just how that affects our experiences in VR chat. So we kind of delved really deeply into the philosophical aspect of like existing and interacting with people. So we did that. So I'm glad that we were able to do that because we both have a really strong passion about that. So I'm happy to have sacrificed that. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you were down for that.
Me too.
Hell yeah. So thank you so much for being on Silly. It was a pleasure having you. We'll be getting to the post content as soon as we wrap up here. But I also want to take a second to thank you guys who've been tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching the podcast here on YouTube, and obviously those of you who are watching live right now, thank you for sticking around. I'll be thanking you guys again once we get around to that post content. But thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you look forward to the next podcast episode. Hopefully episode 37 will be just as much of a banger. Please, on YouTube side, please be sure to like or leave a comment. It really helps grow my channel. It really helps me in the algorithm. Every little bit helps, so I really would appreciate you doing that for me. It would really mean a lot. Every like helps. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed what we talked about. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Let us know if anything resonated with you in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one. So until next time, those of you on YouTube, I appreciate you. Love you very much. Please take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. You never know who may be going through something serious. So until next time, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. When someone, but my controller died, it completely threw me off.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Okay. No worries.
1 sec.
Okay.
I have a backup one. Ta-da. And I'm sitting right next to it. I hope this doesn't hit the cat on the bed. Okay. I didn't hear any meows or anything or any so I think we're good.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
threw my controller on the bed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if there no news is good news. In terms of cat noises, yes.
Right, yeah, exactly. He might not even be in here anymore. Okay, so to answer your question, can you kind of rephrase it for me again?
Sure.